All right, here we go. Welcome to some Tuesday Legacy, everybody. We're gonna have Rich playing Punishing Jund, and we're gonna have Matt on. It's Matt, right? Matthew on lands. We're gonna see an interesting matchup here.
All sorts of punishing fires going all over the place.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Jund will have a pretty decent sideboard, I think, for lands.
Yeah, it typically does, but I think that game one favors lands.
Yeah, probably. Unless lands can lose to itself sometimes, right? Like several combo decks.
If it never finds Loam, it has a hard time winning against any deck.
Let's get this chat up here. Here we go. All right, so how many do we have tonight? I think we have 22 players tonight, which is a pretty good turnout.
Yeah.
We were at 30 for quite a while, and then summer came, and people are going out of town, and like, who goes out of town?
I don't.
I wasn't here last week. All right, so we got a die roll. Look at this. We're jumping right into some Magic for you guys. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna see some Legacy. So we're definitely in the build up to GP Vegas, right?
Yes.
So people are really testing and actually figuring out what they're going to play and how this metagame is shaping up.
Yeah, this is an interesting match. No blue.
Right?
No blue.
Well, and we... I think our local meta, is a little bit skewed from what we're going to see in Vegas. I think we're going to see a lot of elves in Vegas, and there's only a couple players here doing that.
I think a lot of Delver as well.
And yeah, a lot of Delver variants, and we've actually got quite a bit of Death and Taxes here, to the point where I thought that was kind of the majority, and it's actually falling out of favor, I believe.
Yeah, there's been a lot at this store.
But I think that we'll see a smaller percentage in Vegas.
I think so too.
So, but we'll definitely see the different Stoneblade decks as well, right? Those are so. It looks like Rich took a mulligan, and maybe Matt did as well. And let us know if you guys can hear us all right. Make sure this mic is sounding good. Let's check some things here. This one as well. Check. Tuesday Night Legacy.
Yeah, if Jund does stick a Deathrite Shaman early, it can definitely take the game away.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. But lands does have access to Punishing Fire as well, so it should be able to deal with the small creatures fairly well.
Make sure we're okay. So Rich is starting off. There's that Deathrite that you were talking about. Thanks, chat. Jumping that right out there. That's you get to go first, and you get the Deathrite out first. That's awesome, right?
Yeah, that's exactly where the Jund deck wants to start.
And then it's just a matter of, does Matt have a Punishing Fire early to take care of it? I can't quite see what...
Not that I can see.
He's got in hand. He's got some lands. There's a Mox
surprise.
Diamond coming down. Rich says, yeah.
Yep.
I don't have counterspells, so...
And throw away the Bojuka Bog. We've got a Taiga.
All right.
And a passing of the turn.
Yeah.
So no Punishing Fire.
No anything early. What is that red card he's got in hand main deck? Matt has.
That looks like a Punishing Fire.
It does?
I believe so. Punishing Fire, and he's got the
Jumping in
Grove
here?
right here.
Howdy, gentlemen. I am hopping in here just for a second to check
Things and stuff.
stuff and things. Yeah.
Looks like we're good. We're good on...
No, where is...
So, let's jump back in here. We got Rich playing...
Where do I think for
A
Facebook
Grove.
go?
Oh, did we
And
not?
he's debating what
Here?
to do from here.
Oh, yeah.
Unable to connect. Let me try.
He was taking a look at his Thoughtseize, but he's decided not to use it.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Wasteland!
The
Take
Wasteland
that!
of the Grove. We're gonna get rid of the Wasteland for red mana, and since he floated colorless with the Grove, he's able to deal 2 damage. And so we've got a Life from the Loam.
And the bog takes out Rich's Punishing Fire there.
Yes.
Let's see.
That's really important. He needs to be able to dredge this loam this
Okay,
turn.
so no, it doesn't. He
Okay.
he played loam. Bog comes back to his hand. He didn't get to play it there. There was a little misstep there, right?
Okay.
So Rich's graveyard's intact for another turn here.
So he's gonna exile the life.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
So this is where land sometimes has a cycling card and can beat that, right?
Yeah.
This time he didn't have that.
Typically about one cycler in their main.
Oh, that's them?
Yeah.
No, that's
Pretty
us.
loud.
That's us.
Yeah, that's us.
Oh, okay. I'll see if I can get the audio for that room. Sorry, gentlemen.
That's all right. We haven't had it the last couple of weeks for some reason.
Oh, okay.
So Rich has a fetch land. So and Matt had to Matt, we see Thespian Stage, Mox Diamond, and a new card, right, off of Thoughtseize.
Yeah.
Thoughtseize took a gamble. Oh, that's what the red card
Gamble.
was a
Gotcha.
gamble. Okay. That makes way more sense why he didn't play that Punishing Fire that was in his opening hand. It wasn't a Punishing Fire. Bloodbraid Elf. Into Torok, that's pretty perfect. Take that. Lands.
Yeah, at this point, there's not really a lot the lands deck can
Yeah,
do,
yeah.
especially if they lose the Thespian Stage.
Right, and this is definitely where lands just kind of lost to itself, right? Like it didn't draw what it needed to when it needed things.
Right, and Jund had just 1-2 cards of disruption to.
Thanks, Pat.
Yeah.
So we got Facebook Live, we got Twitch Live, we're on YouTube as well. And let's see, did we post? I can mute that somehow. Close this. And
All right, so he was able to find a Maze of Ith. This is gonna keep the Jund deck from actually winning the game.
well, he does have 2 Deathrite
Yeah.
Shamans, right? Those will take care
Yeah.
of things pretty quickly.
Unfortunately, he's not putting a lot of spells in the graveyard at the moment, so it's
Right.
going to be pretty slow goes, especially once the Thespian Stage becomes a copy of the Maze of Ith.
Yeah.
Attack. And we're going to make Thespian Stage a copy of the Maze of Ith, and then the Bloodbraid gets mazed.
Go here.
All right. A Wasteland and a dropped card. Yes, with all the Deathrite Shaman, the Wasteland's looking very, very weak.
Right?
Not doing a whole lot.
Why am I not seeing this? Where's Leovold when you need it? No, we don't need Leovold.
Didn't you hear what I said? There's no blue.
Let's see, I'll post this. I don't think we have this posted here. False. Incorrect.
Always need Leovold.
There we go.
Yeah, see, Jund doesn't even need blue lands. They have Deathrite Shaman. All you need to do is untap with one of those, and you can play a Leovold.
Matt's top day playing off the top of his library here. That's weird. Brian, your last message, it's all fuzzy. I can't read it. It's,
Yeah.
You must have lost service or something. It's too bad. There's a mana bond that is totally irrelevant at this point in the game. Mana bond can just totally destroy games for lands, right? But I don't think it's going to do anything here.
There is a loam.
Is there still? Oh, there is one.
He just cast it.
I don't know how he's... Yeah, but he
he-
doesn't have anything in hand, so it's
no.
gone next turn.
Mhm.
Here's Mana Bond for you guys. So what this allows a lands player to do is turn 1, if you drop this down, suddenly you can just go, there's all my lands, there's everything, and you pretty much can win the next turn.
If they have enough lands.
Yeah, if you have the right combination of them, which often happens, it seems like. Or if you have Wasteland, and a 1 Life of the Loam.
So it was actually kind of odd to see him play the Life from the Loam, because not only did it only get him a Wasteland, but it also increased his clock.
Yeah.
To die.
Deathrat's attacking here for 1. Take 1.
Both get...
Oh, he's got 2 mazes? Okay.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, this Deathrat took out the Life from the Loam.
Right. I didn't see he had 2. Oh, because the Thespian stage copied the maze, right?
Yes.
So that's why he has 2 mazes out.
Exactly.
So... We have a 1 Deathrat activation per turn, but all there is lands in the graveyard at the moment. And there goes one of them. And he gets to bolt him, puts him down to 2, and there's a lightning bolt in the graveyard.
Exile the lightning bolt.
Deathrat gets to do the work there. So there's where turn 1 Deathrat Shaman got it done versus lands.
Yeah, that was about ideal as a draw as Junt could have had.
Yeah, and so we got to see a little bit. Oh, there's 2 Molten Vortexes from lands, which is great. Just destroys Deathrat Shaman by itself. Tireless Tracker, maybe?
I think Tireless Tracker is really good. Junt doesn't really want to keep a lot of its removal in this matchup.
Yeah.
So you get to board in those and stay relatively...
On the flip side, I have Rich's sideboard. I was able to sneak it from him real quick. He's got 2 Toxic Deluge, a K-Command, a Diabolic Edict, which makes sense here, a Null Rod, 2 Golgari Charms, a Pithing Needle, which also makes sense. He's got 2 Grafdigger's Cage, which sometimes, or not Grafdigger's, Surgical Extractions, which sometimes works really well versus lands, other times
you want to hit Loam.
Yeah,
that's the card you want to take. So they do come in,
and you can potentially also Wasteland something and then extract, like take out a Dark Depths, and good luck.
Yeah.
So Edict. He also has a couple Duress in the sideboard, which is interesting, but I don't...
Where you have so much dead removal in the main, I can absolutely see the Duress coming in.
And let's see if we can get a quick glimpse here. Oh, maybe I missed it. But winning game 1 is a big deal, right?
It is. Yeah.
It definitely increases your odds there.
Yeah, Junt has some.
Did he put in
sideboard plans?
See. We're over here looking at a sideboard, and Brian's actually paying attention to what happened. So there's a K-Command, and a Thoughtseize and him went out. Interesting.
Yeah, there isn't a whole lot to hit off of Thoughtseize and him. A lot of times you do want to be able to him just to keep them hellbent, but at the same time, once they found a Loam, him looks really silly.
Yep.
So.
Exactly, and sometimes it just becomes a total dead card, and the lands player just laughs. It can buy you a turn, but that's usually not enough for Junt, right?
Yes.
Junt is looking for more than 1 turn.
So what the lands deck is trying to do in this matchup is they are trying to pump out a Dark Depths, Merit Lage token, relatively fast in this one. They don't want to see Wastelands across the board. Just hanging out and waiting for the Thespian stage activation. So, but really that's their only real scare, especially in game 1. So the fact that Deathrat Shaman was able to do that much work, it's gonna make it hard to do that again. They do not want to have to deal with another Deathrat Shaman.
Where is Brian today?
Yeah, where is that guy?
Usually
he's sitting right where I am.
Yeah. Well, update that. Man, we gotta have this person that's not even here helping us do this thing.
Brian, that's your job.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I was waiting for you to tell me what to do. There we go. Gettysburg? That doesn't even make sense. I don't understand. It's just gibberish. I thought you'd already be in Vegas. Scoping out.
The venue's not even open. Brian pitches a tent.
There you go.
Battlefield's on the
Yeah,
end.
you could be, doing touristy things, but instead you can watch this. That's good. That's kind of what I did last Tuesday.
All right,
Yeah, who wants a wasteland? There you go. Here's an aggressive. Ooh, Loam's
And-
back. Interesting. Okay, so here's an interesting play. Rich says, hold on, which pretty much says, I have a surgical extraction in my hand.
Yeah, I don't think that he should hit the wasteland. Unless he has both. He could have both.
Yeah.
I think I would have waited for the loam to hit the graveyard and then.
It
then
also
hit the
could be
loam.
what is in his hand, right? If he has one duel in hand, or two non-basics, right?
Yeah.
Then that wasteland is actually pretty scary. Because Matt, he knows that Matt's going to play that wasteland next turn, right?
Right.
So he won't be able to play a 2-drop.
Another strategy there could just be that the Jund player knows that he cannot beat a loam with a wasteland.
Yeah.
Or-
It can just keep going down, and that wasteland just keeps going. So
Yeah.
it's actually not a horrible play. It's not what you were hoping to surgically extract. But
No,
okay.
I still think the loam would be better because then they would wasteland one land and then what?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not getting back the wasteland anyway.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if this version is running Ghost Quarter or not. It makes sense it would be.
Mm-hmm. Usually if Jund plays a Ghost Quarter, it's only one.
So let's see what... Rich has a wasteland of his own, and looks like a Badlands.
And that's what's so funny is now looking at the wasteland looks a lot worse now that he didn't take the loam.
Right. But he does have that Death Right,
He does.
and so...
I think, and yeah, it's pretty clear that he was banking on that, but then he sees the Punishing Fire across the board,
Right.
and it's not looking as good as he wanted it to.
Alright. Run it out anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Take that. And a Grove. Punishing Fire. And pass turn.
Yeah, so he'll activate and get that Punishing Fire back right away.
So yeah, it looks like he does only have the two lands, and he loses the Death Right. So there goes his potential turn 2 Liliana that he could have done. Maybe he should have said, "I'm your Huckleberry," without Brian here to
Explain
yeah,
these things.
yeah, I don't know. So Matt, Dredge's Loam, right? Is that how that played out?
Yes, he did Dredge Loam.
And
And then he cast it, and he was able to bring back a Misty Rainforest and a Dark Depths. Yeah, this is looking like a huge misstep not hitting the loam. Because now we get to, wait, he's casting Nissa this turn.
yeah. And Rich is stuck on these two lands.
Right, so it's clear why he took the Wasteland, because he would be landless right now, but at the same time, Matt wouldn't have a whole lot going on. But maybe the Nissa was going to take the game no matter what. Okay. So he plays the Dark Depths, so he did not have another land to play the Nissa.
But he will next turn. Or
He will.
this turn if he wants.
Yeah, he'll probably cast Loam.
You can't... We're watching a stream. We're not going to click on a link. What if it's a virus?
Yeah, I don't trust that person.
It's a YouTube link. No, I don't know.
Every person I trust in this world has told me not to click on stuff like that.
Right, yeah. That's awesome. So it looks like Rich is done for here. He didn't draw another land, and if you have 2 Life of the Loams in the grave, will you dredge for 6? No, because you only get 1 draw, so you can only dredge 1 of them at a time. If you had some
Right.
way to draw 2 cards, then you could dredge both.
Yes,
cards.
dredge is a replacement effect for the draw, so you cannot do both.
And so you see that happen in dredge decks. If you're if you're playing an actual Dredge Legacy deck,
Yes.
and you do like a Faithless Looting, right? You get to draw two
cards.
cards. Then you can replace both of those draws individually with
If you
different
have
Dredge
yes,
mechanics.
with different Dredge.
Yeah, and so that does happen, but not typically with lands.
No.
Dredge is definitely a tricky mechanic, right? And like when I learned that you could replace both of those, that surprised me, right? You draw two cards, and in the midst of resolving a spell, you're actually doing two completely different things at the same time. It's not intuitive.
Right.
Yeah. I think this game actually would have been over regardless of which card he took. Even if he had taken Life of the Loam, Rich never seeing a third land, he would have lost his Badlands the next turn.
Yeah.
He would have been sitting on this Wasteland, and he still would have lost his Deathright. So I just don't think he had anything here. He finally gets his other land.
I think the other.
It's just too late.
I think the other way would have ended in 4 Swift Nissa attack for 5,
Right.
and the game would be over probably by now, honestly. And we have a Tarmogoyf.
It's a 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6.
5/6.
There must be something I'm missing.
I would assume it's something that came off
Oh,
the
there's an
Dredge.
instant. Okay, so yeah, so the Dredge put in. I don't know what that 5th one is.
It's probably an enchantment. That's why.
Yeah, well, the 2020 doesn't get to happen quite yet. Now it does. Now here comes crop rotation. He needed to have this other land, right? Here comes Thespian Stage, which does the trick next turn. Oh, he's got the mana to do it right now. There you go.
Yes, he does.
And which is why. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so we get to
here
respond.
comes Wasteland. So which actually works here, right?
Yes.
If he does it, sequenced it correctly, the Dark Depths goes away as a legendary trigger, and Wasteland can destroy the Thespian Stage before it.
Yeah, with the ability on the stack, he'll kill the Thespian Stage.
Right. And so it saves him. It delays things a little bit.
Quite a lot. I mean, the Life from the Loam's just going to get both of these back. It's going to take a couple more turns,
Right.
but
Exactly.
I never know. Maybe those couple turns was all the Goyf needed to put some damage in.
And here's Loam. So
assume
Matt
so.
is at what? 16? 16 life.
He does have Maze though.
Well, he can only play one land a turn though, as well. He doesn't have an exploration out or anything like that at the moment, or that mana bond. So it's not quickly over. How about that?
Nope.
He gets 3 lands back by playing Life of the Loam. Yeah, just put the maze down. Yeah, and that seems like the correct thing to do.
I think so.
If Rich draws another land, no, he's going to go with Thespian Stage.
Also,
and stuff.
something to say about playing the Maze is that now the Goyf can't get through, and even if Rich were to find a Wasteland, I think the lands player would.
Oh, he did find a
just
Wasteland.
fine.
Next card is Wasteland.
Right.
Interesting. So Rich actually, there's a line here. It's possible he has enough time at this rate. The Goyf might get things done.
It's gonna put 5 in here, and the Punishing Fire is gonna take care of the Bob.
And we actually saw Matt discard a land due to hand size that last turn. He could have gotten around that by. Oh no, that was his only choice, huh?
Yeah.
I suppose he could have played Nissa instead, but
And
No, no.
something I didn't notice a minute ago, he does have his cycling land in his hand.
so he could get back Loam
Yeah, right.
if he needs to.
Alright, so now comes the Maze. And we see the Nissa. It's going to return a card. It's going to return Tireless Tracker to his hand. It's, no. Vital Force. Yeah, right there.
Let's see this Nissa. We don't get to see Planeswalkers nearly enough.
Not in Legacy.
There it is. So he chose the -3 ability there. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. And if for a moment there, he almost put it into play. I wonder.
Almost.
He's like, no, it goes to your hand.
Not quite that
It goes
good.
to your hand. See, and so I think I would have untapped a creature there and had a 5/5.
I think so too.
or untap the land, making it a 5/5. You don't need to attack. You just, you know, he's at 11 here. 2 attacks with a Goyf and a Bolt do things. And that Wasteland can take out Maze. All right, Rich is going for a
K command.
a Kolaghan's command. Okay.
Taking out the Mox Diamond and the Nissa. So now that there's a Planeswalker in the graveyard, we'll go up to 6/7 Tarmogoyf.
So that puts him on a 2-turn clock instead of, so that actually he's on the same turn clock as he was previously.
And I do.
Rich would need one more threat, right? Like he needs a way to either get rid of Maze twice, because Loam will bring it back, or he needs another Goyf, or he does have a Bloodbrain in hand, which gets haste.
Right.
I'm surprised Rich is as in this game as he is. How about that?
Yeah. I do think that the Lands player has been playing things a little too safe. I think he had some good opportunities to be aggressive and try to get the game over with, but he's taking things pretty slow.
Right. Well, and even his misplay was activating Thespian Stage when he did. Right. You don't want to. You want to respond to the Wasteland, not the other way around.
Exactly.
And
the Junk player is gonna wait on the Wasteland. They have to. They can't beat the 2020 unless they have a Diabolic Edict out of the sideboard. So.
Rich has a Liliana in hand here, but that doesn't really help because Maze of Ith is still out there. Well, I mean, yeah, because he wants to waste it, and then there's a blocker. That doesn't really help things here. Life of the Loam just gets back the Maze of Ith. So he's trying to find a line. See if he has one. What he wanted to see was a 4th land there, I believe.
Yes. The Bloodbraid Elf probably would have been the best.
Yeah, this is all that there is really to do here. Matt's gonna crack his clue in response. So his Tireless Tracker was a little bit bigger before it died, right? And there he's saying, I'm gonna attack, and Matt goes, yeah, I have a Maze. He doesn't forget. It's nice of Matt to play with a few of his cards up, the ones that Rich still knows about. There's quite a few that we don't know. At that point, yeah, I get it gets a little too messy, right? When you start.
Look at this one.
So
look at this
we
one.
can see he's got another Thespian Stage, which I think making a copy of the Maze here makes some sense.
It does.
And he can get down Dark Depths as well and just be ready to go. See, now right here, he's actually set up to put out the 2020 right now, right? Liliana's can't make him sacrifice. The Wasteland's tapped. He could put out Dark Depths and put out a 2020 Indestructible right now. It would leave him open to another Lily or an Edict effect.
It might not be very safe to do that, but yeah. See, and we just saw that the Junk player does have another Liliana in hand, and that this is exactly why.
And maybe you know that if you're Matt, he's sitting on 3 lands. He's been not playing very many cards. He would have played anything else he could have. So, you know, maybe that's what's going through Matt's head right now is, do I make it or do I wait? So he's going to wait. He's going to play another Thespian Stage, which is the safer route. He can make a copy of Maze of Ith, or he can just run out another Nissa.
Another Nissa.
So this time, what does he choose to do? This time I think he's going to make the 5/5.
I think so. I think he should just animate one of the lands that he doesn't care too much about. He has plenty in play. I think a 5/5 chump blocker is much better than getting something out of your graveyard at this point.
Hey, R.J. Jorgensen. R. Jorgensen. R. Jorgensen. The silly screen names. Welcome to. You're not a big fan of Nissa, but it's vital to winning. It's a force. It's the vital. No, I got nothing. I'm sorry, guys. That was the best I could do.
It was close.
let's just remove her from the screen. There we go. Now you don't have to be a big fan anymore.
Mm-hmm. Even though she's on the board and currently being used.
All right. So what did we just see happen there? Did Nissa downtick and he played Tireless Tracker as well?
Yes.
Okay.
He went for the same line.
Interesting.
That really is interesting because we do know that there's another Liliana, and this may open up room to get one attack in.
Yeah.
If he drew a land. Which I
Yeah,
haven't been able to see.
he's just making this last a little. He's making it entertaining for us, right? He could have closed it out ages ago.
I think
but
so.
Matt wanted to have a good showing here of some back and forth magic, giving Rich just a glimpse of a possible chance here.
Yeah.
Makes it way more interesting, right? Let's see if we can go like this. Get rid of that. There we go. All right, so Rich is thinking about things. We're on his turn here. He's got another Goyf.
Goyf.
Okay, so Rich chose not to do Liliana, chose to do Goyf. So does he wasteland a Maze of Ith right here? I think you do, actually, right? You get rid of the maze. Thespian Stage can't copy it anymore. It's tapped out. He doesn't use that chance. He uses that time. So
I think he's just he's gonna make him use more mana and wasteland that way, and try to prevent the 2020 again.
yeah, okay. And I mean, he would have had a blocker anyway, right? Tyler
Yes.
Striker could have blocked.
But now he's in a better position. I mean, one of the Thespian stages may need to become a maze in order to deal with this blue state.
Absolutely. Especially because Lily can down tick, get rid of Tyler's Tracker, and both. So I mean, Rich has lethal if he doesn't have a maze out, right?
Yeah.
Next turn. But having the potential to make Matt sacrifice 2 different creatures next turn is also pretty strong, right?
It is.
Make down tick Lily, play another Lily, down tick Lily.
Another thing to mention, he did just play a Ghost Quarter. This can
Ooh.
this can kind of taunt Rich to use his Wasteland. It's gonna make him not interact with his Dark Depths little combo.
All right, Matt's going to get back a Punishing Fire and play it on Lily. There we go.
All right.
And we've got an activated forest, a vital force forest. I don't know what you. It's an elemental creature from Nissa. And there goes Wasteland on Maze of Ith. So Matt did burn his opportunity. No, he actually had untapped mana. He could have copied the Maze of Ith if he wanted to.
He could have.
Chose not to. So now Rich just has 2 creatures to deal with and no Maze of Iths. But he doesn't have a 3rd land to play. He's just been really hurting on mana this game, right?
Yeah, he's only found 4 total lands, and 2 of them are Wasteland.
Here comes that's a clue token that Matt's popping there. 2 7/6 Tarmogoyfs, or 7/8 Tarmogoyfs.
7/8.
They're bigger than they are smaller. And
So
we
he's
get a
gonna
double block
double
here,
up on one.
which is enough, just barely. We're going to do a quick count of Goyfs, I believe. Goyf check, since we got Planeswalker, Artifact, Enchantment, I believe.
Yeah, all 3 of those.
It's big.
Plus your basic 4, the land, instant, sorcery, and creature.
So Tyler's Tracker's gone. 1 Goyf is thinking about dying. There it goes. And Rich has a 2-drop. It's a Library or Dark Confidant. So I think you play Library here because that Punishing Fire just kills your Goyf, or your Bob. There it is.
Yes.
That's a Commander's Arsenal, Sylvan Library. Looking a little different.
All pretty in foil too.
And it gives Rich a chance here. He can see a 3rd land. He can potentially... now that's still a land, right? It's still a creature. It's until your next turn. Oh, so it's no longer. Okay.
So he's gonna have to uptick again to
Yeah.
get the 5/5.
Buried in that text somewhere says until your next turn that forest is a 5/5 creature. So now it's his next turn. It's no longer. It's just an unglued forest.
So if I had to guess, all Matt really needs to do is uptick the Nissa, and then play the Dark Depths, and
Wait 1 turn.
wait
Yeah,
1 turn.
right.
Because even if he's able,
Rich though gets
Okay.
to see. Yeah.
he's gonna minus the Nissa. and get the tireless tracker back. Which this is close to the same thing, just because really it was just about getting a body in the way.
Right. Rich probably will see another land off of. I mean, he can draw all 3 cards, right? He's plenty of life. But there's Dark Depths, so it's going to happen now. There we go.
Interesting.
I think that's correct. An Edict effect doesn't help him here since he's got Tireless Tracker. The Goyf can't attack into the 2020. If he has a way to kill the Tireless Tracker...
He needs literally Lightning Bolt into Edict. And it would have to be Diabolic Edict.
Right. So he's got 1 card of these 3 that he needs to see. And he needs a land, too, to pull that off.
Yes.
Just the perfect 3. He's got a Surgical Extraction, a...
Deathrite Shaman.
And he
does
doesn't
not
see
have
it. So, I mean, that was... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Bolt plus
he's at 4
Fire.
life, right? So, if he had just been able to dome him... that was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. It looked like Lands was way ahead there for quite a while. And Rich made a game of it. If he had ever seen another land, it would have been... If he had been able to play that Bloodbraid Elf when he wanted to, or something, right?
Yeah, he easily could have taken that.
All right. He says, update the round. It's 1-1. It's 1-1, everybody. There we go.
Jeez, talk about the most annoying person in chat.
Yeah, what is it?
There's always one guy. It's just worse than the rest.
Deathrite and a Bolt probably wouldn't have worked because he needed to be able to use the Deathrite.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're just completely wrong, Brian.
just terribly wrong.
Yeah, it would have been a different game, right? If you'd been able to attack. Matt would have been able to do some things. He would have been able to copy the Maze of Ith and have 2 of them out. So that still might not have been enough. But whatever the elf cascaded into could have made a difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe not the tightest play there for Matt. Maybe a little too conservative.
I think so.
And then the one I think mistake of copying when he did, where instead of being conservative, maybe it was a little too aggressive, right?
Yeah, he took a really, really aggressive line, and once he got punished for it, he actually got like really conservative.
Right. Which maybe he just didn't see that, right? Oh yeah, there's an untapped wasteland. Whoops. Should have seen
That's
that.
not normal. Usually people... Oh, jeez.
What is that? Is it? It's all static. Does anybody else... Can anybody read that chat? I can't... Is there... Are you hungry? Is that what that...
I think one of those words says food.
So, Rich Goat takes a mulligan, and then he scries. He's going to keep this whatever it is. I see a wasteland and elf. There's a Pithing Needle on top. I think you leave that there.
I think so.
You know, that can name wasteland. That can name... Yeah.
He's speaking in tongues.
That's kind of what happens even when he's here, actually.
Yeah, kind of. Sometimes Brian will say words, and I'll just say, I don't know those words. And then he has to explain them to me, or else he's probably speaking Chinese.
Matt's real name is JTS, or Taylor for short. Okay. If you say so. I'm outside of the inside joke this time, so... Exploration. That changes things a little bit for the Lens player. Ghost Quarter.
Ghost Quarter. And he looks at his wasteland and just doesn't even know what to think.
I can't do it, but I gotta go find something, right? Ghost Quarter says I get to...
Yeah, not 3 lands, just 2.
just 2 lands. Sorry, Matt.
He's like, but this is my second land in
I can change it to Taylor if you'd like. If Mog knows what he's talking about. We'll say Matt, actually Taylor.
AKA Taylor.
Where are my these things? There we go.
Alright, now we're all happy, right?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so. Matt's or Taylor is going to be upset at us.
I'm pretty happy.
We got a Bob down.
Yeah, this is...
I think it's going to get punished.
I think so too. This is not something that...
Does Matt... now you're going to... I don't know. Is it Taylor or is it Matt? He's... The player on your left, does he have a red source? There's a red source. There's a Punishing Fire. Bob has not yet gotten to draw one card in all 3 of these games. Man, this pickiness. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. Whatever I just did, I apologize. So now we all know that Brian is watching on his phone and can't read small print, whereas everyone else was just fine and happy.
This is a fast Bloodbraid Elf.
Ooh, does that help him here? Okay. Well,
All right, we'll call him
mats.
Taylor.
Yeah,
We'll call him Taylor.
there was a lot of mats on the board. I could just simply be wrong. I thought it was Matthew, but okay.
I've been wrong before. I know what it feels like. This feels something like that.
Surgical Extraction got to take out Thespian Stage.
Yeah, and that is a big part of the combo, so this is a little better than taking out Wasteland.
Right? Yeah, so, I mean, Taylor's sitting on a crop rotation and
A Nissa.
and a red card. Is it a Punishing Fire?
I can't tell. I think it's another gamble.
A gamble. That's what
It looks
was the
different than
first time,
Punishing
yeah.
Fire.
But he's sitting on one forest.
land.
So he's got 2 explorations and 1 land. That's
Yeah, this is Jun's game to take away. Absolutely.
now it's a race, right? Now
He wants to apply
becomes
pressure.
as aggro as he can.
Which Jun doesn't have a whole lot of aggro to have.
Dark Confidant, but
Dark
this
Confidant
works,
will
right?
do it,
He's going to
yeah.
see several cards. Yeah.
The crop rotate.
For a Grove, okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get back his Punishing Fire just to hope to hit a
Gotta find a land.
a land here.
Land.
I mean, you'd think there's a few of them.
The deck is lands, so
Well,
I would assume.
That's definitely what I meant earlier when I said lands can just defeat itself, right?
Yes.
If you see 2 explorations and no lands, you just lose. It doesn't matter what Jund does
Right.
on the flip side or what any deck does on the other side.
And Jund also has the ability to wasteland the lands deck out of the game.
Right. If he never sees a loam.
Mm-hmm.
And, every time I play lands, this never happens.
Yeah.
Ever.
I don't think I've ever seen...
Molten
something
Vortex
like
is
this.
actually interesting here because he doesn't want to discard his lands at this point in the game unless he has a Life of the Loam. We see a Null Rod, which shuts down Mox Diamond, right?
Yeah, I think the reason he brings in Null Rod is typically... Oh, it also shuts off the clues,
Sure.
now that I think about it.
And I think it's also just he doesn't have... He wants to take out some cards, right?
Yes. Yeah, Null Rod's probably just better than a lot of the main deck removal that the Jund deck has. And that's probably why it came in.
So we've got a Sylvan Library trigger happening here. Rich is deciding maybe you just take them all because it doesn't matter. If you think those 3 cards are going to help you at this point of the game, you can lose 8 life right here. That'd be all right.
Yeah.
Nope, he just takes 1. And he's already getting 2 cards a turn anyway, so
Right.
he's definitely in the advantage.
Yeah, and he can set after the first turn of after the first turn that you have both Bob and Sylvan Library in play, you can start setting it up so that you're losing minimal
Right.
amount of life
Right.
off the Bob.
And I believe, okay, Rich has gained some life based off of getting a Punishing Fire back, right? That's why he's at 20 right now, even though he just lost 2 life. Mystery cards are Tracker and Loam. Okay. You've got the hand cam over there, Brian. You're able to see something I can't. And Taylor's doing the math here, and he sees, I think I'm dead because I don't get lands in my lands deck.
With the extra shit.
Yeah, you can see that's exactly what Rich just did. He set it up so that Confidant gave him a land.
Mm-hmm.
He sees a Goyf and a Bolt. The red card is Molten Vortex. It's a spicy card. It just destroys Delver decks.
Are you talking about the red card in play or the red card in his hand? The one in play is Molten Vortex, and the one in his hand
Almost got it.
is a Punishing Fire.
So Molten Vortex, I'll pull it up. It's more fun to pull it up than it is for me to read it to you.
Definitely.
There we go. So when you have a loam going and you're able to just get as many lands as you want, you can just discard a land for 2 damage to anything you want, and
Right.
you take out a Deathrite Shaman or a Delver of Secrets, or in that case, he would have been able to hit just about anything you wanted, and it can just win a game. And usually there's 1 or maybe 2 in the sideboard for lands, red-green lands.
Yeah, it's honestly a great card for the deck to have. It's just going to be working with Loam.
That's
That's
fun.
that's a sensor.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
That happened when I was watching. It changes the stream so much.
Yeah, it really does.
Wow, and we're back. Little tweak there. And so similarly, how whenever I play lands, that never happens to me where land stumbles. They also always draw Molten Vortex. It's very fun when you just get defeated by the one of sideboard card that just wrecks you.
And I do have to wonder, is Molten Vortex coming out of the board a reason enough for the Jund deck to keep their Abrupt Decays?
I think I've actually re-sideboarded in an Abrupt Decay to deal with it for game 3, but I wasn't sure how many there were at the time.
Yeah, I don't think we saw a single Abrupt Decay in that match.
No. So we got to see the cards that came in there for Rich, everything we thought, and included a Null Rod, and Thoughtseize and Hymns came out, just like Brian said. 2 of main, maybe it is. The Lands player that I've played several times against, it was a sideboard card.
I typically only see it in the sideboard.
Yeah.
But if somebody mained 1, that would not surprise me even a little bit.
All right, so let me tell you guys how much time we have left in that round. That lasted quite a while there.
Yeah, so taking out all the hand hate from the Jund player, it's I think that's pretty important. This is why we see a couple like not amazing cards come in out of the board. The K Command and the Null Rod, they can hit a couple things, whereas the hand hate typically doesn't do a whole lot.
So Rich got that one 2-1. We have only about 3 minutes left in round 1, and we have 3 or 4 matches still finishing up.
Wow.
So we might go to time here and have a little bit of an extension.
This is a new experience for me.
Yeah, often
Usually,
it's just quick, right?
Usually they just go so fast.
K Command was MVP. Okay, that was game 2, wasn't it? That we saw.
Yeah,
K
game
Command.
2. And he did not win that game,
No.
but the K Command
But it
did take
did
out
do
a
some
diamond,
work, yeah.
and it finished off Anissa.
Yep.
That's a lot of things for a 3-mana spell.
So we can switch back to our lovely faces. Here we are. So Brian's in Gettysburg doing something, watching us, which makes sense because it's late there, right?
I guess.
What's everybody else up to tonight? What is it? It's a Tuesday night? I mean, you guys are obviously joining us for some awesome Legacy. But where is everybody? Jorgensen, where are you located? I'm trying to remember everybody that's on here chatting with us at a continual pace. I'm going to have to start making a list. Pat's here to join us.
How's it going, y'all?
He's here to interfere with more things. Clicking
things. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I was
just
gonna
the
see if I
side
can
of
fix
that,
the.
Ooh, click that one.
Hey.
Oh, no, not that one. Click the other one.
Damn it! No, fire!
Hand me this.
Come on, man.
See if we can get some sound from our room where the players are playing, so we can hear the Pithing Needle decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Or everything just is going to get changed. That's recording. We don't want to change that one, do we?
It's Wednesday
We want
morning
playback.
over there.
Playback. Yeah.
His name's Taylor, by the way.
I corrected it. I'm sorry. I don't know
I
why.
mess up people's names too.
I don't know why I thought that you were playing a Matthew. I'm sorry. There was too many Matthews in our.
They're gonna go to time.
Yeah. Yeah. Are we already there? So we just went to time.
Did I mess up game 2 at all? I felt like I played.
No, you
the
stuck in
best
it
my-
way longer than we thought you would have.
Yeah. Any land drop really would have
Yeah,
changed that.
if you had been
just
able to
about
play the
anything.
elf when you wanted
How
to,
many
right?
car- how
I'm
many-
on Punishing Jund, so
Yeah.
that's fun to commentate.
definitely. I'm super.
Would you go talk in the room so we can hear
Yeah.
something and see if we can get these headphones
Yeah.
working?
Just start talking to yourself.
Yeah, just say amazing things about.
Things and stuff.
I don't think anybody's talking at the moment, so you won't hear anything if you get over there. Sorry, sir. We're a little squished. Listen to this device. Alright, so Arizona. Right on. Tempe, Arizona. Now, tell me, does Tempe, Arizona have a legacy scene? Do you guys have a decent amount of people you can play weekly, Friday Night Magic or something like that? Get together and play Legacy? Or do you have to travel and play in GPs or the occasional Western Star City Open? For the longest time, Utah had almost no legacy scene, right? There was nothing here until Paragon got it going, and now we have a 20 plus, 20 to 30.
You guys can hear me?
You have to ask Patrick here. Nope, negative.
I was saying knock on the wall if you guys can hear me. It's just weird, dude. Are you guys still on the stream right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think really getting that second Wasteland is the only reason why I even stayed in that game.
Yes, it was. And I think the fact that he just kind of like went for it when you had an open wasteland, that's what.
I think he didn't think I knew
How
the
to
right interaction on that.
The audio is
You
still
have to
coming
delete
from the
with
stream
The second
Right,
register
so-
on the sec.
into here.
If we
That was
go
a good
like
match.
This, we can change.
Not the best matchup for you, so.
Oh,
it
that's
was,
what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
John
it's-
has a really hard time against it.
It can do it. Like we were
Yes.
saying
Is that
game
it?
one that just a Deathrite Shaman coming
Not
down.
hear anything.
It might just be all the
Is it
difference.
Total Undead or is
What?
it
Why
static
didn't
even?
It's just actually
in-
just totally
in
dead.
All right,
So-
Rich, give me one
Was
more
it
try.
game one?
Go talk in there one more time.
Yeah.
game two? You surgical or was it
I
game
surgical
two?
the Wasteland
Wasteland.
because I had one Badlands that was my only land,
Yeah.
and he had a
Yeah.
Wasteland.
Yeah, that's
like,
what we figured.
Getting Wasteland locked out or getting a chance to fight, like I felt like getting a chance to fight was better.
Yeah.
And like I had the Pithy Needle game 3, and I shuffled it because I was like, I can't just get blown out by a Wasteland and then you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't put it on top?
I didn't keep the Pithy Needle on
Yeah,
top.
yeah.
I just started with the Wasteland just in case.
Right. Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
actually started with the Wasteland a lot more than I did.
Oh, cool. So you do have some legacy players there. It's just Brian wants a vintage scene. So you've successfully said food chain several times and vintage in the first round. I'm impressed.
You know, this person in the chat, he sounds like Brian.
Is it Jay Brian?
Yeah.
Oh, hey
Yeah.
Brian.
I think we'll just
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll go.
that's cool.
I'll go talk.
we'll let it be.
Right on.
Let me go talk to him.
We'll just start it in the next round. We'll be able to hear if anybody's talking in there. So we'll figure it out. Thank you, though.
Okay.
So we should have round 2 up here really soon.
Yeah, time's been called, so we just got one more.
One more match going.
We also have an up-and-coming vintage scene. That's sweet. I don't know. I kind of don't want a vintage scene, right? Because if I saw people playing real vintage, it would motivate me to want at least to play vintage, and it's nice that I don't want to right now.
I don't know very many people in Utah who own Power.
I definitely don't have a full set of Power. Most of them aren't advertising that fact loudly, right?
That's
The players that have it. They're not going around. Guess what I have, right? They're the players that have been around forever and bought the Power back when they were a couple $100 a piece, as opposed to what they are now.
more than $100 a piece.
Right.
Just leave it at that.
So,
Oh, it's a proxy friendly. Okay.
yeah, and that's interesting. If you do a couple proxies, or 5 or 10 or whatever you
You
need.
have to really like the format of Vintage to run a proxy league.
Yeah, and I found that it's different, right? Like, Proxy Legacy plays differently than non-Proxy Legacy.
Absolutely.
The players you get, the seriousness, their investment, not necessarily the monetary investment, but their just investment in their own deck and how much they know it. Whereas if you're playing Proxy Legacy often, it's, oh, I'll try this deck out that I've never picked up before. And it changes the way it plays quite a bit. I'm gonna go see what players we're gonna have here for round 2.
A constant flaw. That's cool. Washington's got a vintage
pairings have been
scene.
posted.
Sweet.
So we're going to have Christian Cider on D&T, and then Tony's Turbo Depths.
How do I switch that?
I'll go
up,
grab
Pat?
Bryce.
Teach me things.
Oh, okay. Brian's telling me how to do this here. In sound settings, change the thing to listening and make sure it's either speakers or Realtek. Alright, so for...
Who we got going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sound settings.
I knew you guys were all about propaganda here.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Dad jokes never fail.
It's not the same when you're talking to
Headphones.
ghostly prison. This doesn't work.
Right?
No.
Uh-oh, still messing with it.
Yeah, Brian messaged me on how to do that one. In sound settings, change the thing to listening. Make sure it's either on speakers or... Let's go.
So go sounds. Right where? Nope, right where you were.
Oh, that's where it was.
Yep. Sounds.
Sound setting.
And
Change the thing to listening.
what's on sounds? Right there. Yep. Does that give you a? Nope, that's not what we want. That's not sound settings. That's sound settings, not sound settings.
Yeah. We'll do it in the dead time of the next match. So it
Yeah.
looks like they're about ready to go here.
So say who we had again?
We've got Tony on the.
Turbo Depths.
Has Tony got the? Which is he have the Liliana mat? Who has got that Liliana mat?
Yeah, Cider's got the blue mat.
Okay. Goodness, I just forgot. We got Tony on Turbo Depths, Black Green Turbo Depths, and Christian.
Yeah, Christian.
Christian on the blue mat. So a little bit of a different build of Turbo Depths here. And we'll get those for you in just a sec. Christian.
Is it this one?
Nope, other one. Yep. There we go. We'll get Kyler into this.
It's Kyer.
What did I say? Kyler?
Kyler.
Throw an L in there. I'm sorry.
Good noise.
Kyler. I know what it is.
You just messed it up there.
Yeah, just on purpose.
On D&T?
Probably. Makes sense.
I think that's what he said. Alright, let's...
Transition. There we go.
Boom.
And we'll get rid of Molten Vortex, because click here.
Studio.
Yeah. That just makes us big. And then you get rid of
This
Card from
one's
PC.
card from PC. Learning stuff.
There you go. Look at him go.
I know, right?
All right.
You have to move the mouse, and then you have to click the thing.
Right? It's a lot of work. Why can't you just look at it
Way
and
too
do
much
what you
work.
want? Whoa, we got multiple die rolls happening. They had to look and see which die was whose. Kyler with an L. Kyler.
It's not Kyler. It is not.
Have you gotten a lot of crap of that?
Usually
for-
Kyler or Kyle, typically.
Ah.
There's always just a magical L that just
Yeah.
falls
See,
into every name.
I even know what it is, and I just stuck it in there.
Yeah, Brian, you call Roger's last name Wilberg every time, and it's Weiberg. There's no L. I'm pretty sure there's a song about Noel, actually. Now that I think about it, I think it goes Noel. I think it's a Christmas song, actually.
No, it's a song about you, right?
Oh,
That makes
yeah.
way more sense. Hey, we got to see a Delver Secrets. That is definitely not Death and Taxes.
You wish you had magical letters in your name? Well, there's an L in my name, but nobody knows it's there, and also it's not there. I don't know if that qualifies as magical.
So, Delver versus Turbo Depths with a turn 1 Delver is kind of interesting. It looks like we have Brainstorm, Daze, and 2 other cards. Tony gets
Here
to play a
comes some
land
Turbo.
and a Lotus Petal. He gets to fetch. Yeah, definitely not Death and Taxes.
Nope.
We were wrong. Sometimes our players will switch it up on us and try something different out. And it makes us look awesome.
Makes us look awesome. We'll pick a matchup and we'll be like, yeah, this is one that's gonna be good. It's not gonna end in 10 minutes. This is awesome. And then both players break out different decks and we go, oh, never mind.
Well, here you go. Here's something different. Totally different. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a blue-red Delver or a Teamer Delver or
Many different variants.
It could be Grixis Delver as well. At this point, I'm not sure what it is. This is the same thing that happened to Kyrie and you last week when you said it was Kyler. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, I don't know.
Can Delver even deal with Merit Lage? It can daze things. It can stifle things for a turn. That doesn't really help.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the Delver build. Some of them aren't running Stifle anymore, but Stifle's a pretty good one.
Yeah, Stifle. Well, no, a Stifle actually doesn't really help much. It only delays it for a turn.
Yeah.
But because you stifle the trigger and so they don't actually sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Stifle has become much more popular over the last few weeks than it was a couple months ago.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot more. Submerge. Okay.
Yeah. Decks that have been running Submerge have been running 1 or recently maybe 2 in sideboards. I haven't seen more than that. Yeah, yep. Stifling a Hex Mage helps for sure. And Turbo Depths, that's their plan 1A, right?
Yeah.
Or Thoughtseize! He chooses not to daze the Thoughtseize, which I think I maybe would have there.
Where he doesn't have another land, I definitely see why he would daze it.
Yeah. I mean,
so do we take a threat or do we take some of the dig? I think we take a threat. But
yeah, I think you take another Delver here. The Bedlam Reveler.
That's a monastery.
Is it a mentor?
Swift Spear.
Okay.
Swift Spear.
Swift Spear. So we're definitely on the
blue-red. The blue-red.
We'll call it UR, since that makes more sense.
Sure.
All non-caps versus caps.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, you don't stifle. Well, you can stifle it. It just buys you a turn if you do it.
Yeah.
That's all it does. So, yeah, he takes the Delver. We get a Swift Spear next turn or a potential Brainstorm if he's wanting to do something different. Yep. He's going to Brainstorm. Upkeep. Is that right?
I mean, to mention something, though, a lot of the Delver decks only need one more turn to finish you. They're a tempo deck, so sometimes just a timely Stifle can get the game to end.
If Depths just stumbles a little bit. Okay, that makes sense. He Brainstorms Upkeep to make sure that the Delver flips. Took me a moment there to figure out why that was happening. Just a moment, though. Just a moment. I forgot that was in play. It was really nice of Christian to put his Delver directly on that square. That's very
that way we know it's in the combat zone.
It's a little skill. Oh, Tony's pushing it a little bit now. Now things are.
Yeah, Jorgensen, the trigger can just go off again, but typically you want to stifle the Hex Mage trigger.
So what happens, I believe, Jorgensen, is if you stifle the copy of the Thespian Stage, then they just do it next turn.
Yes.
And you can't stifle the Depths because that's it's just asking if it has zero counters on it.
So they can just do it again.
And so it just happens right away. But you can buy yourself a turn by preventing the copy. So we get an attack from Delver's Secrets, which is no longer a Delver. It still feels like a Delver. We should just rename this deck.
Insectile Aberration.
Right? That's really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that secret.
Nope, it's not.
Secret's out, I think.
Delver, we found your secret.
So, Swift Spear didn't come down there.
No,
kind of interesting. He's leaving man open for
he wants to brainstorm. He also has a Ponder, so he's opting to brainstorm.
Tony is thinking this one through, figuring out what the right line is here. He's got, what, 6 cards in hand? He's got a Hex Mage, I see, but I don't believe a Depths.
I think it's an Expedition map, doesn't he? Alright, there's a Hex Mage.
So he's just asking for this to be stifled, or not
Dazed.
stifled, dazed.
Which I assume it will.
And I mean, he knows about the daze, right?
He does.
I don't see why you wouldn't actually here. What would the follow-up play from Tony be that would be more threatening actually?
I am not sure.
Yep. So there's the daze, and now Tony gets to do what he wants to here. He's gonna play an expedition map? Maybe that's what he wanted.
Yeah, it's definitely hard for these Delver decks to interact with just lands activating.
Does he have a second Hex Mage? He's got a Swamp, a Thespian Sage, and 1 more card. I don't think it's a Hex Mage.
I thought I saw.
So we've got a fetch. It's maybe it is a Dark Depths. I can't quite tell. Maybe if I lean a little bit this way.
I think it is. Yeah, it is a Dark Depths.
He's already got the Depths. Yeah. Red-blue Delver doesn't waste any cards on Wasteland.
Right.
It's just bad. It's bad. That joke was a waste.
That joke. It was a waste.
Wasted all of my good puns on that one bad joke.
All the ones that you totally had.
Yep.
They were there. Now they're
Well, no,
not.
they're not because it doesn't have any wastelands. So we've got a so there's a Swift Spear a turn later. And a Ponder, so we've got 1 prowessness. He's nicely using a dice to signify that. It can get a little confusing based on when you're playing cards, what your actual prowess count is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's the draw off Ponder, and a swing for 5. Take 5, Tony.
Down to 9.
Tony says, okay. There's a Hex Mage. You knew it was a second Hex Mage in his hand, Jorgensen. You knew that's what that was on. It's amazing how...
It was always a Hex
yeah,
Mage.
It was on top of the library. It was practically in his hand.
He's still 1 turn off from the way that he played his lands, I believe. If he had known he was going to draw the Hex Mage, I think he would have played the Swamp, but last turn.
Yeah, well, and he's dead to Bolt, right? If Christian draws a Bolt, has one in hand,
Yep.
if he saw one off of that Ponder, he's lethal next turn.
Yeah,
so
it may be just completely necessary to play the Swamp and play the Hex Mage just
as
to
a blocker, yep.
just to block, and then next turn hopefully you can get that Dark Depths down. And
I don't think that actually is going to work out for him, but
I don't think so.
it buys him a turn.
It's probably his best line.
Yeah, if he had an Expedition out or something like that and was able to drop a couple of lands, he'd be better off. Or if he had, instead of leading with Expedition map, if he had put out Dark Depths last turn instead. I'm not sure. See how it plays out. We'll think about it for a moment here, and there's a Swamp.
There's a Swamp.
Yeah, like
And
you said, that's the only line, right?
We'll see the Hex Mage.
It's the only thing you can do right here. There's a blocker.
Mm-hmm.
Take that, Swiss Spear. He can remove his counters when he puts... No, he's not.
All the
Those
prowess,
aren't- yeah.
the prowess counters.
And he did draw a Bolt. Did you just take that off the top of the library? There
Yeah,
you go.
I think so.
So he doesn't have a second Bolt though.
Nope. Yeah, and so this is what made the Hex Mage line probably the best line to take.
I think Tony's still dead here, right? He takes 3 from Delver, and he's going to take 3 from Delver next turn. Okay, so he's going to go this route instead. Kill the Hex Mage.
Maybe 5 damage.
That way he keeps 2 attackers, 2 threats instead. It's the same math, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Tony goes down to 3, and he's still dead to Delver next turn, regardless of what he does. Or To go down to 4? Is that what he's at?
4.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought he was at 8.
No, he was at 9. So now he gets. Now he'll be able to turn on the Dark Depths and get the Merit Lage.
Right.
Yeah. If he makes Merit Lage, he can absolutely block the Delver.
Well, I get if he wants to.
He's gonna block a creature. and hope to swing back, I guess.
That might work.
It could.
Let's see what Christian can top deck here. If not, Christian's actually got a blocker, so he can live a turn, right?
Yeah.
Delver plays what, 19 cantrips or something, right? Like he's got. Does he have 4 of Brainstorm, Ponder, and?
I don't know how many Preordains.
And
Or
Preordain?
is that? I don't know if they play
Maybe it's just
Preordain.
2.
But I know there's a full set of
Ooh,
Brainstorm
so he
and
does
Ponder.
just pass the turn here. So he's saying there's a chance. Turbo
There is
Depths goes from
indeed
way
a
behind
chance.
to right there. Ooh, does he have the step? I don't know if he does. He probably does.
I would love to see map for step.
Yeah. I don't think his hand has anything.
No, it looks like
Ooh.
just more land
Sorry.
and a Pithing Needle.
Yeah, there we go. We get to see a quick glimpse of Turbo Depths. There's
Or not.
cards that are sleeved. There's one on the bottom. Yeah, he does have it.
Century Step.
There you go.
It's Pro Blue.
It's like that, correct? Nope. Let's just find it this way. Ah, it's not going to pull it
I
up.
think it's S-E-N. S-E-N.
Okay.
J.
Boo.
S-E-N-G.
This way.
Usually it would. Yeah, Fire Blast would be a finisher here.
Well, it's a card. It does things. He went and got it. Now I'm not sure what. Maybe he's trying to think through what Christian might have.
Oh, it's S-E-J. And Jorgensen's helping us out.
We're
Us Magic players and our spelling.
maybe thinking about it.
There it
What?
is.
Nice. I tried that out already. It's still thinking about it. This card it's hidden deep in the internet. It takes a really long time to find it. Oh, we gotta click through more things. Just all these clicks. There was like 2 clicks there I had to
That's
do.
a common land
That's a lot
from
of
World
work.
Awake.
There we go. So this is what he just went and expedition mapped for, and chose not to play.
Yeah, I'm confused by him not playing it and just swinging for the win. I'm not sure what he thinks
Yeah,
the Delver
what he's
deck
playing around
could
here.
have.
He's just drawing it out, making it more interesting. Maybe he wants the second 2020 legendary creature before. Sometimes it can be tricky. You like psych yourself out, right? You go, oh, he's got all those cards in hand. One of them is gonna blow me out. So now he's gonna try it. He let Christian do one more, and Christian shows he had nothing all along.
Ah, thank you, Jorgensen. I was feeling really bad, and you made me feel better.
These are not
Thank
fake
you.
words. That is a real place in World Wake.
Not fake. Real place.
Which is not a place. In
Oh.
Zendikar, which is a place.
Yes. In other words, it's a fake word that we like to pretend is real.
Here we go. Okay, so Tony takes... Wow, I'm so sorry. I don't have the round updated. Here we are. Round 2, and Tony took game 1 of that. I apologize. Brian left the chat, and so now I totally don't know what to do anymore. There we go. So Tony sneaks that one through, right?
Yeah.
Christian almost had it. He was really close.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he gave him an extra turn, because I think most people do know that these red-blue Delver decks, they run, I believe, 1 or 2 Fire Blast.
Yeah.
That is not something he wanted to see.
Well, and so what I think the correct thing to do there, actually, if you're Christian, is the turn he had, he was attacking into a Hex Mage. I think you just attack into it with your Swift Spear.
Agreed.
And you leave Bolt in your hand, right? Because then you hit him for 3, you leave up Bolt, and Hex Mage and Swift Spear trade.
Yes.
And then you leave up a Bolt in your hand. Tony goes down to what?
He would have gone down to
5?
6.
6.
6.
And so if you draw another Bolt, you win.
Yes.
Right?
Where the
Whereas-
line he took dealt 1 less damage.
Right.
So it ended up being a little awkward to if he had found a bolt or not.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, what was he playing around? I am definitely not sure. He went and got the Sajiri Step and then just...
Yeah.
Just
Maybe
pass
I'll
the turn.
wait 1 turn. It'll be more interesting next turn. It'll give Christian pause to not. I went and got this step, but I don't even need to play it. I can pass the turn with it in my hand.
Yeah, exactly, Jorgensen. There was no playing around Fire Blast there, but the fact that there was a card in Christian's deck that could just one-shot him from that point.
Right.
This is exactly why we're mentioning why did he wait another turn.
Right. And I guess he's playing around like Vapor Snag, which I don't think Delver plays main deck.
Not main deck. But
it's a card.
That is
It
the only
exists,
card I could
yeah.
imagine you playing
Yeah.
around. That would have gotten Vapor Snag no matter what at that point.
Right. Well,
you can't play around that card.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you play step, he does it in response, and then you lose the ability to do that later. So we'll see if Delver can go just a little bit faster here for a game. He got flooded out a little bit,
He did.
especially because Blue-Red Delver does not play very many lands, and he saw quite a few of them.
Yeah, you can't really play around Vapor Snag. Yeah, he could have thought that he already played a land. Which he
Yeah.
definitely didn't.
Right. Yeah, I don't mean that he was playing around Vapor Snag in that he would have like played step in response. I just mean that's maybe what he thought Christian had in hand, right? Cause,
Yeah, maybe.
Oh well, you can respond to the trigger, the step trigger, right? So you could
Yeah.
step comes in, you trigger, you say, I'm going to give this protection for blue. You could Vapor Snag in response to that. Yeah, exactly. I think we're all on the same page.
I think so.
And he realized that the next turn, right? You
Yeah,
went,
I'm just trying to figure it out.
He didn't have anything, so I guess I win. Because he would have played Vapor Snag there and then attacked.
I guess there is the possibility if he is running Stifle that he could stifle the Sinjuri Step ability. That's something that could be mentioned, but
Yeah.
I don't even think that that's something you can afford to play around. At that point, that was the turn that he needed to win, and if he didn't, that he probably was dead, which he got. I mean, he wasn't.
Whoa, it didn't matter there, right?
No.
If Christian had drawn another Swift Spear and been able to attack that turn and had a Bolt in hand, that would have been his only way to deal more than, or Fire Blast or, some other, I don't
Right.
know.
Any burn spell.
Alright, Tony's finishing up making sideboarding decisions here.
I don't think that he missed that he hadn't already played a land though. Now that I think about it, because he main phased the expedition map to get the step.
Right.
Opted out of playing it. That was interesting. Yeah, just about any spell would have been lethal.
Which is where drawing Force of Will there did not feel very good.
No, this is not a match you want Force of Will in your deck, I don't think.
If you're on the draw, being able to stop one of their turn one, because Turbo Depths can win really early, right?
Yeah.
Being able to slow that down, it can be effective. If you're on the play, not so much, I don't think.
Yeah, very different game plans whether you're going first or not. One more reactive and
Yeah.
one more aggressive.
Right. Plus, Delver decks have to be careful what they're siding out, right? You need a certain number of flips for Delver.
Right.
We're going to leave you all in suspense, because I don't know what it is, actually.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he was playing around.
Maybe we can ask him out after the match. see if he was playing around something, or if he just blinked, or
Yeah.
what that was.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
usually the thing I'm looking for too, as well.
Right.
I'm going, wait a minute, what? And I'm
This-
digging it. Normally, you guys answer it for me, so this time,
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm trying to run through every little thing. I'm trying to figure it out. If I can figure it out, then I can make myself feel much smarter than I really am, which is a huge plus.
I watched a little bit of Dead Guy Ale. Who's playing it? Man, I just forgot his name. Blanking on names. Here I'm bringing up something and I forget. Which is just a white-black Stoneblade deck, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a fascinating place to be in right now.
Yeah, I've seen some interesting lists along those
Jeff
lines.
Hooligan.
Jeff Hoogland.
Hoogland, not Hooligan.
Hoogland.
I just throw L's into places. That's what I do. But he had a really nice breakdown, actually. He went back, and so he won a Legacy Challenge on MTGO. And then he went back and reviewed his play with commentary afterward, the fact, which really allows you to learn the deck pretty well.
Yeah, especially when the commentator actually goes through multiple times before they even film themselves, so they know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know
Or
what's
if they're
going on.
a really good player and they actually remember every one of
Oh,
those
that,
decisions, right?
that
Makes
actually
a big
reminds me.
difference.
Watching Standard this weekend, I don't know how many of you tuned into any of the GPs, but Brad Nelson did a run through of one of his matches. It was amazing. He remembered everything that went through his head at every single
Right,
point in the
yeah.
game.
And he's doing that live.
He's doing it live.
With a commentator with him. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was very impressed. Not only that, but come on.
Is it
Brad,
in the winner's interview?
Brad.
Can you go back and look at it?
Yeah, it's part of the live
Yeah,
stream.
you can go find it.
So
It-
they
it
did
was-
that instead of a time walk stream. They did that.
Yeah, hearing what he had to say was awesome. Not only that, but geez, Brad Nelson, guys, the guy.
Yeah. Guys,
He just back to back won 2 weeks in a row. He took the SCG Open, and then next weekend comes in, takes a standard GP.
That's what you do.
I guess when you're good, you just take
Yeah,
it all, right?
Right.
All right, Swift Spear to start. Get
Christian
in for one.
Puts a couple cards on the floor, and I'm pretty sure he's got a stack of them down there. No, that's not true at all. Yeah, take that.
Oh, got him.
Flooded Strand. Got you with my signed Bajuka.
Yep.
That Flooded Strand is never coming back.
No.
No.
So, we're all right there. We're all up to date.
Yeah, we are.
We got the step still up, just making things. We'll just confuse everybody for the rest of forever with that. There we go. Crop rotation.
What are we finding? I would assume something very important. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Had him.
All right, here comes the stage for all of the thespians around here. I guess I don't know. They like to
That's
imitate.
pretty much just Patrick.
He doesn't play Dark Depths.
Oh.
No
Yeah.
stages for him.
Nope.
I'm not sure
I'll let him
that
know calmly.
when they made Thespian Stage, when you're imitating a legend, that they were really talking about this giant 2020 frozen under the ice thing from.
I don't think. No.
I don't think that's quite where they were thinking with that. From Theros, yeah.
Yeah, it makes it real hard to try and foil out your commander decks when the cards just happen to be legacy staples.
Right?
I mean, I guess if you call it stage, I guess it's a legacy staple.
Sure.
Because lands.
Yeah, I think so.
We've got some pondering going on, some juggling of moons, which is what you do when you ponder things.
Yes.
That's what I do. I juggle.
I wouldn't
the
know.
moon.
I don't ponder a whole lot.
Oh.
In fact, I only own 2 ponders. One of them is foil, and the other one it has been painted so that the 3 moons are Pokeballs. So I juggle Pokeballs when I ponder.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to get that done to mine as well.
It's gorgeous.
Who did the altar for you?
I don't know who did the altar for me. I actually traded it off of a friend. I think it was like his girlfriend or
Because
something.
we know
that
a
had
really
done
good one.
I know somebody who does altars. That probably could do a Pokeball. I don't know if I could sink to that low though. That's pretty low, guys.
it. Or rise that high.
Yeah, or that.
You overestimate where you're starting.
I guess it depends on the type of Pokeball, right?
I'd probably do an Ultra Ball.
All right, Tony's thinking about a play here. Does he have a play? Yeah, he's got a Dark Depths he can put down. He's got one or two of them.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to play the Dark Depths yet. I think he'd rather play a different land.
I don't know if he has another land actually to play.
He does.
Okay.
I want to say there's a... Is that a Caracas? Is it a...
He's got a swamp, and
Oh, there's a... I do not know the name of this card. It gives a legendary creature fear.
sure, Death House.
Yes.
Stores Death House. Shizo's stores Death House. With a random L in there somewhere.
What he said.
A silent Q.
Yeah.
Kills you with that silent Q.
Yeah, that's something else. What is that? That's just a Verdant Catacomb.
Yeah, we got a Catacombs.
He's got all lands in his hands. He's
Yeah,
playing.
I
He's
was
playing.
gonna say, I'm like, I thought he had a lot of lands.
He's got a crop rotation. See, that was a pretty quick. Yes, Kamigawa
Yes.
Black Legend Psycho Land. Exactly.
Yes.
We don't call it by name.
No, we don't.
Let's see if Christian can do something other than play only lands, because we've seen a lot of lands from the Delver deck that is really land light.
It really is.
Maybe his version isn't.
I would assume somewhere between 18 and 20 land.
Bolt to the face. Swift Sphere for 2. Take 5. You're just taking it, Tony. You don't have anything else. I don't think he's got a fog.
No, I don't think so.
There we go. I guess maybe Christian was thinking of playing something else as well there. Not quite as fast as you'd like to be if you're Christian.
No, I think he needed to go threat into threat on turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, that would work. If you have a
Yeah.
Urborg coming down here quick. But
I didn't see an Urborg though.
I think it's maybe a 1-up in this deck. I'm not sure.
I would think you'd want more than that, but maybe not.
So Tony's going to fetch and then crop rotate.
And then sack whatever he gets. Whatever he wants.
So there goes that Bayou. That's what he's crop rotating away.
Gotta explain that one real quick.
And he's going to get a Urborg. There you go.
There's the Urborg.
So that's what, yeah, crop rotate for Urborg. Okay, so see, chat's on it. We're not. I was leaving the suspense in. We were gonna say it live instead of predict what was gonna happen. I didn't see that line.
I also didn't see the crop rotate in his hand, so shows what I know.
So
right,
there's a bunch of counters on that thing. He's gonna just make
He's
it
just
now.
gonna go for it.
He's left with an Urborg and a 2020. And Submerge doesn't work here. Price of Progress doesn't do a heck of a lot here.
No,
I mean, it deals 2 damage.
it does. I think when he brought those in, or I think he was expecting to hit a little harder than 2 damage.
Yeah, even just if one other land had come down there, he would have hit for 6 with that, right?
Exactly.
It would have been really strong draw.
6 result.
If he doesn't have an answer for it here. Alright, he's gonna go think about things. Or juggle, or both at the same time, I don't know. He's gonna ponder.
Juggle multiple
That
means.
joke is getting old, isn't it? I keep using it every week and everybody's
Every
like,
week.
yeah, he's gonna ponder. I'm sorry. No, I just have to keep doing it out of tradition. Apologize.
Tradition.
Alright, so he doesn't shuffle, he leaves him on top, he draws that card, and it's a... something? Something good? Price of Progress,
Price
dealing
of
yourself a whole
Progress.
bunch of damage?
Nope,
Okay,
we got
Chain Lightning.
No, what he was saying, Jorgensen, is if he didn't go for, if he had just played a 3rd land and not gone for the depths
Yeah,
thing,
he'd still have
then
3
he
lands.
would have had 3 lands. So that's
Right.
that's why it would have been dealing 6. So technically 7 if you count damage coming off of the Swift Spear.
Oh, he just passes the turn there.
This Delver is on blocking duty.
So he was close there, right? If he had attacked, he could have dealt 3 damage from one of those 2 attackers, and then, but that would have put Tony at 4, and then he only has Press of Progress.
So,
right? If he has
thanks to
Fire
chat,
Blast
they
in
say
hand,
Fire Blast in hand.
that should have done it then.
All he needed.
Interesting.
I think he assumes that Tony's going to play another land, and maybe he's hoping to get the extra damage.
He
off
did
the
reveal
Price
the
of
Price of Progress, though.
Exactly.
Right?
That's
so Tony
he knows
has
about
it.
it. Yeah.
And so Basic Swamp could come down here, or he doesn't even need it. Oh, yeah, give it fear. It's afraid. Or it's fearful. I mean, it's a 20/20 indestructible. I'd be afraid of it regardless. So Tony gets to play both of the perfect lands. Last game it was Step. This game it's the Death House. And he's got 2 Price of Progress.
2 Price of Progress.
So he just needed.
Yeah, he needed him to just play a land and not kill him.
Yeah, yeah.
It needed to not be Sajiri Step or.
Shizo with an L. I promise there's an L. There's not an L.
Shizo, top one.
Death Storehouse. It's where you store death.
That's
right?
where I would store it.
Yeah, in Shizo's storehouse. So Turbo Depths got it done that time. We saw Jund beat red-green lands in round 1, and now the Turbo Depths black-green version did what it does and went quicker than other decks.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the card that took it down there. Target legendary creature gains fear until end of turn. Made it very afraid.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically unblockable for Merit Lage.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of flying black creatures or artifact creatures that can block it.
Yeah, and Christian's deck just doesn't have much of an answer, right? He probably had 1 Submerge, 1 or 2, and it wasn't there. And he didn't get the draws he wanted again.
It's pretty much Submerge and maybe Vapor Snag. Those are kind of your big hits against this kind of a deck, and otherwise you're...
And I actually liked his line. Having 2 Price of Progress wins you the game, right?
Yeah.
And many of the cards that Tony could play, Price of Progress is going to hit, and that's all he needs to do. Unfortunately, he sees Death Storehouse, and he had to reveal the Price of Progress as well. That didn't help.
Yeah, that
but
did not.
I mean, that's what Tony would have done regardless, I think.
Yeah, and he shows him a...
Yeah, and by having a blocker, it gives him 2 turns, right? So Tony actively would not have attacked there, I think, because it would have left him open.
Yeah.
Maybe he would have, because it would have been the same damage, right?
Without the Storehouse, he was probably dead next turn.
Yeah, yep.
Especially if he played a land.
Even if he had played
100%.
a basic land, the 2 Price of Progress would have done 2 damage each, and Switchspear would have gotten in for lethal, right?
Yeah.
If he had attacked, same thing. Yeah. So Death House really was the right answer there. All right, let's see how much time is left in the round.
All right. Yeah, and that is something to mention, is that the blue-red version, their hope is to burn them out.
Right. That's the game plan anyway.
Yeah, I think Christian in both of those games would have been delighted to have a Fire Blast.
Right.
Yeah, I think he could probably win both if he had a Fire Blast in both games.
Yeah.
It was really close.
Yep. So we've got 11 minutes left in round 2. Last round we went to time into turns for a little while, so maybe we've got a couple of decks that are going a little longer. So for 10 minutes, we
could talk. We could take a quick break.
Kyer is going to entertain you with some amazing knowledge of...
Oh, I don't know about that. Amazing knowledge. Good one.
So I want to go back to this black-white Stoneblade deck.
Okay.
Because it's curious to play something different that doesn't have blue in it, right? Yeah,
Dance?
Right? Entertain us, exactly. So the
you
deck
overestimate my ability strongly.
Let me see if we can pull it up real quick here. If I can find it. There's
Sure.
a couple different ways I can find
Yeah,
it.
I'm going to grab myself a water real quick.
Oh.
I'm parched, guys.
You said dance, he's leaving. That's what happens. All right.
I left it right here.
There you go.
I left it.
No, he didn't
I left
leave
it
for
on
long.
the edge of the
He didn't
table.
leave for long. All right. right, let's go this way.
Let's go.
While these guys de-sideboard. Ooh, okay. Here we are. Da 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 da!
Cheers.
I feel like we have to do that every time. Now what? What excellent card are you looking for now?
Monarch token.
Monarch token.
You probably have a few of those somewhere.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, I was testing some games against Death and Taxes, and they Palace Jailered me, and they used a Germ as their Monarch token, and I did not love that. It looks like a creature on the board, and it just... where I am playing Punishing Junt, I like to kill creatures, and I can't kill a Monarch token. So it was really frustrating for me.
Here we go. Let's see what's happening
This week
in Legacy.
in Legacy.
Yeah, I found this is an interesting way to look at what's going on currently in Legacy. Sean Brown here on Goldfish, I think, does a pretty good job of breaking it down, as opposed to digging through forums in the source or something like that.
Yeah, I think Goldfish does a good job.
So this Dead Guy L deck, which is the name that white-black decks get,
Sure.
from way back forever ago. It's 4 Dark Confidant, 4 Stoneforge Mystic, 4 Tideholder Scholars, right? And then your other discard, you've got 2 Inquisitions, 4 Thoughtseize, and
2 Collective Brutality.
2 Collective Brutality, which is a powerful, can be really powerful, right?
Yeah, it's really hit or miss, I've noticed, but when it is good, it is really, really
and it's
good.
kind of in the Fatal Push slot in this deck. The spicy card from this is a Gideon of the Trials, a 1-of.
One Gideon of the Trials.
Like if you land that versus Storm or other things, it can just win the game by itself, right?
It can.
Other times, it can be really bad, right? It can just lose to an Abrupt Decay or...
Yeah, at the same time, it can just attack for 4 every turn.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think it's a great card.
And if you're playing against certain Delver decks, what they're trying to do is land 1 threat, 1 Gurmag Angler, 1 Delver, and the plus ability is effective there, right?
Yes.
So it's actually... I'm interested to see if this sees an uptick in play.
I honestly think that this
Legacy.
card is better in Legacy than it is in any other format. So yeah, definitely something to look at.
So and then of course
very
this
minimal.
deck is just a Stoneforge Mystic deck where you're running Jete, Feast and Famine, and Batterskull. There's actually a third Batterskull or a second
Interesting.
Batterskull.
A Feast and Famine over the Fire and Ice in the main.
So-
Do you know if there's a reason for that?
His play was mostly just to be able to untap your lands.
Interesting.
This deck, which is kind of weird. It's a white-black. There's a splash of green, but it's not playing Deathrite Shaman. There's no Deathrite anywhere in this deck, right? And part of the reason, I believe, he didn't actually say this, but it's kind of in this article, is that you're just wanting to land an Inquisition or a Thoughtseize so early that you don't want to play Deathrite. And then you're hoping to hit a Dark Confidant as your 2-drop.
Yeah.
Or one of your other 2-drops.
This
but
seems like a great Dark Confidant deck.
he ended up going 5-1 in the Legacy Challenge, top 8ing it with a decent 60 people or so in this. And the green splash is just for the 2 of Gadek. So you've got a Horizon Canopy and a Bayou to land those. Otherwise, it's just straight white-black. And I think that he ran really well with it. Rewatching his play, he got the cards he needed every time. It was, I need a Swords of Plowshares, top deck, Swords of
There it
Plowshares.
is.
I need a land, here's a land. And he even said that quite a few times. That so I'm curious to know how this would play out.
Ooh, the sideboard is really interesting.
Yeah, you've got 2 Planeswalkers, a Kaya, Ghost Assassin, and a Gideon. Those can come in and just win games by
And
themselves.
then, and then the rest is just hate cards, kind of what you'd expect from a white-black
Yeah.
deck.
How'd Rich do round 2?
1. Like it's
2-0.
slow.
Sweet, we might see some more John on camera next round.
I would
then.
be so okay with that.
So
John.
you might probably black green Turbo Depths. It was our other 3-0. Tony, who you would know, that's what he's on. He's always on that.
We got 4 rounds though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah,
We're playing 4.
Yeah,
Okay,
4.
but they might be the only 2 at 3-0.
Well,
With the number we
one
have.
beat lands, so maybe it'll carry over to Turbo.
Right?
Turbo decks.
Just find your wastelands and your.
So I was just talking about this interesting Jeff Hooligan. I did it again. Hooligan deck.
Jeff Hooligan. Jeff Hooligan.
My apologies to Jeff. That he did a legacy challenge on MTGO and went back through his play and talked about his each decision and what he was doing, which really allows you to a good glimpse into the depth. And it's just a black-white Stoneblade deck with a tiny splash of green.
So it's like Dead Guy Ale.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he calls it. but the changes being Collective Brutality
Yeah.
and then getting into the trials.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Getting the trials. I mean, there's a lot of decks that actually can't deal with getting the trials.
Yeah.
Like Storm has a
Right.
hard time. They have to
Exactly.
like go Chain of Vapor for it and stuff like that.
It doesn't look pretty.
And in the meantime, you get to win. Right?
Yeah. Well, a lot of times too, if they're like wishing for it, that might spend up their turn that they would rather be killing you, and you're just like getting trials again.
Right.
Like that seems
Right.
pretty good.
So I
Yeah,
was
it
thinking
kind
of
of replicates
trying out a
it.
Maverick deck, which is a challenging deck to play and a challenging deck to win with, I think. And there's a lot of decisions to make. I think this one's a little bit more straightforward. It's a little bit more like playing a modern Jund deck, right?
Yeah.
Where,
Yeah.
Where you're playing powerful cards, and if you get them, you get them, and if you don't, you don't.
Well,
There's-
it's a lot like Maverick, except for you're more proactive. It looks like.
Right. Yep.
Versus Maverick is a
it's
little bit
cleaner,
more
right?
reactive.
You've got straighter disruption. Your 2-drops are what you're attacking with, and you're hoping to equip something. And
It looks like it's not playing that combo. It does have a spicy shambling vent though.
Yeah,
I don't see
yeah,
manlands very
right.
often, but that's pretty spicy.
the shambling vent, and he was able to get some stuff done with the shambling vent in the plays
Yeah,
he did.
typically, if you see a manland, it's going to be Mission's
Yeah,
Factory.
yeah, Jorgensen, it's
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, hey Jorgensen.
Yeah, and Maverick is interesting. But I think it's just a challenging deck.
This one's not even playing Cradle, is it?
No,
This
no.
version is not. Did you guys already post the deck list to the chat?
No, we haven't.
How do I
Just
do
copy
that?
paste the link
Into
right here. Yeah. And then they can see.
Ah.
Look at that.
So this is I only have it to the whole.
See, I'm a junk player at heart. This is my style.
Let's see if we
deck.
can go like this.
I haven't actually played with Collective Brutality yet. I really want to try it in Jund
Okay, this will work.
yeah, that'll work.
instead of like, but I feel like him is just too powerful not to play him instead. You know what I mean?
Whoa, it's taking its
Him?
time here.
Oh yeah.
Here we
In
go.
fact,
like-
I was really hoping to look at your list and compare lists.
Yeah.
I've been running Grimflayer the last couple weeks, and I've been really liking Grimflayer over Bob.
Really?
Yeah, I've been having trouble like finding pressure to put on my opponent once I have them like hellbent,
Yeah.
and Grimflayer like really gets them dead.
See, I've thought about playing Grimflayer. I love Bob too
Me
much.
too.
Like Bob is
Cut-
just
cutting
so
them was like
good.
the
And
weird
this is
thing.
like a Dark Confidant list,
This is
right?
like,
Even
yeah,
more
you
so.
want-
You
yeah,
really
yeah,
want
this
to
one you want Bob.
Flipping Batter School sucks, but then again, it's value,
Yeah,
and a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
times like you're gonna be ahead anyway.
And it's almost as
Well,
if
and
you
you're-
don't get a Bob down, or if it dies quickly, you're in trouble, right?
Yeah.
With this list.
And also to note, you have a Shambling Vent, and you have Batter Skull, and you have Collective Brutalities that actually have the ability to gain you life.
And Jite too.
And Jite.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so you can get more life
See,
back.
I'm toying with playing the correct. I think Collective Brutality in the board. Like instead of playing, I'm playing 2 to rest right now. I was playing 3 and I dropped that down to 2.
I have one Duress, one Collective Brutality.
See, and that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking
Yeah.
about splitting up to one more because that would make me have 5 1-drop discard effects, and then I have 3/4 2-mana discard effects. You know what I mean for game 2 against Storm.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can go collective and then like you're like, oh, I don't need this wasteland or whatever, you like cycle it to
Yeah.
get more value. You know, seems really good. Also seems pretty good against Grixis Delver.
Yeah.
Because you can like rip a brainstorm or a force or whatever, and then like,
And-
kill their
and-
death
and
right
kill their
or
Delver.
or
Yeah.
gain life too and drain them. Which
Yeah.
I mean, it's so good against.
Yeah,
that.
gaining life is not. I think it's the most irrelevant ability on the card, but I've actually used it to good use.
the draining.
Yes. Well, the drain game. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like, well, and sometimes in Jund too, when you get like a threshold of lands that you're flipping off your Bob, you don't care anymore, so you can just pitch it to that and gain some life.
Yeah.
I feel like against, especially against Burn. it
Yeah,
might
you
be
don't see Burn a
beneficial.
ton, especially around here.
We had like
but-
4 players a
Really?
couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
then
I
you-
played 3 of them in a row.
Yeah, I'd
with,
probably go up to
murder.
I'd probably go up to like 3 Collective Brutality.
Yeah.
if there was a lot of burn.
Yeah, there was like 3 or 4 players that were playing that. And I played all 3 of them one night.
Yeah.
That sucked really bad, but
That's some bad runnings.
Maze could be useful.
see, I like Maze on the board. I really want to play a Living Wish deck though, so
fun.
don't listen to me. I'm bad. The thing I really like about list 2 is the Lingering Souls.
You like the Lingering Souls?
Yeah, especially
Yeah, me
with
too.
Collective Brutality. Like it's
Yeah,
just value.
Throw it down.
It's playing Council Judgment.
Yeah, I like Lingering Souls, especially in a deck with Jite and with Sword and with Batter Skull too. Like,
Oh, it's been sort of Feast and Famine. What the?
yeah, we were talking about that because that's the first thing I noticed. I'm like, huh, Feast and Famine over.
I like this list.
It is a cool list.
See, I'm not. I like Tide Holosculler. I just don't know how I feel about him sometimes.
Right.
What are you digging for, sir?
Furnace of
I
Wrath.
think it's really good against a lot of things, especially because a lot of decks, like against like Death and Taxes, they're gonna have to Swords it or Flicker Wisp it to get their thing back. And even if you Flicker Wisp it, you can still take something back out. You know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of matchups where Tide Holosculler just comes in and they don't actually have a way to kill it.
Right.
Like a Storm matchup, you know, something like that.
I think against
take
Delver, you like take your Angler or something. Like take your one bolt. Like,
yeah. Increase your clock and take something from your hand. It's something
Yeah. Am I in your way, Bryce?
really powerful.
Time was just called.
Time was called.
We've still got 3 matches going again.
3
I
matches.
like this list.
This one?
Yeah, I like it a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, I think it's clean, right?
It's very straightforward.
Gonna give it a shot on Friday.
I was saying that he played really well with it, obviously, right? He top-aided a 60-person tournament, but he also drew really well with it in times where I know I would just draw dead, right? I would draw the complete
See,
wrong thing.
I'm not a lucky player either, so I know the feeling. It's like, oh man, you know what? You want to know what would be great here? This card. It's like, nope, you draw another Thoughtseize because your opponent's already hellbent. Like every time.
Yeah, that's like the worst feeling in Jund is like when you top deck. Unless you have like a Lily or something.
There are turns where like Thoughtseize is like the best draw you could have, and then other ones where it's like the actual worst card in your deck.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd run the Gideon though. I'm still not sure how I feel about Gideon.
What is our meta like? That is a good question.
Lots of Death and Taxes.
Yep.
we
we have
have
a lot
multiple
more
Death
Death
and
and
Taxes.
Taxes. We've got
Stoneblade.
there's always a couple depths players, or one. Often there's one, and then most of our Miracles players went on to try Stoneblade out,
Yes.
which is a natural transition, right?
Yeah, and they've been doing well.
Lots of Delver.
And
we have Delver,
quite a bit of Delver.
yes.
Yeah, I don't know what today's is like actually.
There's a lot of D&T today.
Yeah, and I think we'll probably see Death and Taxes on camera here in the next 2 rounds. That's often what we've been ending with, right?
Yeah.
Our Death and Taxes players are doing well, and getting to that 4th round.
Yeah, I mean it's a rewarding deck when you know the meta and when you know the format. So Death and Taxes is not easy to play either.
We actually don't have a lot of burn.
Anymore. We did for a little bit.
We had a couple of players coming, but over the course of the last few months, we've definitely are burn light compared to what I would expect to see at a Open or something like that, right? Or a Grand Prix.
Yeah, where people just want to enter, so they'll enter with their
they
modern
wanna
burn
play,
deck.
and so they have burn, right?
Yeah.
And it's one of the most accessible legacy decks.
Legacy is actually cheaper than Modern for burn.
Oh, yeah?
You're not playing the
It is.
fetches and shocks
Nope.
and everything. Like,
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, you pretty much just need the guides, and I'm pretty sure that's like the most expensive card you need.
So, and then we've got a couple kind of unique decks, but I don't think we do today.
Hey, I played Smallpox last week.
Yeah.
Mono black.
Yeah.
I went 2-1. It was awesome.
I played somebody that was playing a Goblin Bombardment deck, a zombie infestation type deck,
yeah, that deck's
All right.
sweet.
and it beat me. It didn't feel good. He top decked the bombardment right when he needed it. I had no idea what was coming either. I wasn't expecting it. That was 2 weeks ago, I guess. So there's every now and then there's a spicy brew that somebody brings in, and you're not expecting. You don't know what you're sitting down across from, right?
Yeah. We had Slivers take the GPT.
Right? Yeah, Sliver's doing really well.
Yeah, it did.
I think there was a.
I was commentating that match.
something, right?
How are you? I got.
They kept playing Slivers, and I'm going, I don't know what that one does.
It's one of the Slivers. It does things.
Or either that, or I'll like know what it does, but I have no idea what the name of it is.
Pulling
I'm
up
like,
the name.
Yeah,
It's
I
the blue-white one. Come on.
Like next, there's like an Enchantress deck, and you guys like know them because a couple guys have been playing Enchantress, and then I'm looking at it going, "That's a green enchantment."
You tap 4 for it.
You see that green enchantment? So do I.
Right.
Yeah, but it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually think that what's the all white creatures get -1/-1?
Dread of Night.
Dread of Night.
I'm thinking about playing one.
I think
now,
that's
finally.
a main deck, or not main deck, but a obvious sideboard one of. at
I'm
least,
getting there. Yeah.
because there is so much Death and Taxes here.
I think
Yeah.
Jund has such a good matchup anyway, though.
Jund has a good enough matchup that I don't think it needs it, but and that's why I don't have one right now. But I think that it would be decent.
There's a lot of black decks that be playing it though. Like a lot of the Grixis and the Sultai. Sultai is starting to see some more playing in here too, but they definitely need them.
What stream is what, Grey Whaler? What am I missing? What stream is this? We're doing some Legacy. I'm not sure if that's what you're asking.
I think they've been in the
I'll go
stream
check
for a
this.
little bit, so I think they've been watching. But
We're gonna start round 3 here in just a moment, and we'll have 2 undefeated players. Rich might be one of the 2.
did you actually go and confirm that? If we only have 2?
No, we've got more than that. Oh, what stream is Slivers?
Oh,
Okay, so that was
GPT
Yeah.
3. It's like 3-ish weeks ago.
Yeah, let's see how quickly you can find it. If you're on...
Okay.
It was in the last round
Call
too,
for you
so
Perfect.
it was on a Saturday, right?
Sorry.
I got.
The GPT was on a Saturday,
It was
right?
on Saturday.
Yeah. So normally we don't run a stream on Saturday. So if you can look back and find one with a Saturday's date, then that's probably your best.
Labeled GPT.
I think it would be labeled GPT.
I got mulliganed out so hard against Jake that round. 2.
We have quite a bit of broadcasts now between judge classes, Tuesday streams, Friday streams, competitive draft. So you'd have to go back quite a ways.
Yeah, we've been watching Legacy on Tuesdays and Fridays.
Yeah. But it's a Grand Prix trial that Slivers took down here.
I've been really sad. I've been doing this on Tuesdays, and then on Fridays, I've been playing in these events, and I never make it on camera. I've been X1 in like the last like 3 of their FNMs, and I just
I think I was on camera last Friday and I got wrecked.
I
got beat.
just wanted to be on camera. I wanted to show you guys that I actually do know how to play Magic, kinda, and I'm not getting there, guys. I'm just not good enough yet. It's a conspiracy.
Yeah. We just do not. We have
Yep.
I believe 22 tonight
Okay.
here. What do we have?
Pairings are posted. We're gonna have Eric and Davis.
Excellent.
Eric and Davis, please head to the podcast studio.
I'm not sure what Eric's on.
He is going to go find out what these guys are on. Meanwhile, I'm going to pretend like I'm super good at typing and using this program, because I totally am professional, promise.
So it's Eric with an A. It's that Eric.
Ah, yes.
And he's on an Esper Stoneblade, and I believe Davis is on Death and Taxes, but I've seen him play a couple different decks, I believe.
Wait, Eric's on.
Esper Stoneblade, just
Esper.
Stoneblade. It's fine. And Davis. We'll just put Davis for now, and we'll fill it in as soon
We'll
as we.
figure out what he's on in a minute. Let's transition over here.
There we go. And we gotta switch them. So you have to do it in
Show me. Ah,
unless you're in studio mode.
thank you. See, totally knew what I was doing. Alright, Eric on Esper Stoneblade. I really like these Stoneblade decks. They are. I've actually got a friend who is trying to get me to stop playing dirtily black decks, and he's like, "Come on, play something with white in it," because he knows I just don't play a whole lot of white, and he's trying to make me play a Stoneblade deck, and I'm actually kind of interested. Don't tell him I said that.
Looking at the meta as a whole, not our local meta,
Mhm.
but what else has been going on? We see elves and lands, Reanimator taking down some big tournaments, and
I think so many decks are viable in Legacy, and
Yeah.
that's what makes this format just a lot better than many others. And you know what? I've had this discussion with quite a few people now that they think that Modern is, you know, so diverse and so good. And you know what? I'll level with them. I think Modern's a good format. However, if you actually look at the format as a whole, it is amazing how many non-interactive decks there are.
right,
All
it's-
very, very linear strategies
Yep,
that
that's
do
the
not
problem.
interact with the opponent, and even though they all do it in a different way, it makes it feel very diverse. But really, like, it's like Death Shadow decks and like the black-white Eldrazi in taxes and then like junk, right?
Yeah.
That interact with your opponent, and besides that, there's not much.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure that chat will let me know all the other interactive decks.
No,
I know there are
I
others.
agree with you. I agree
But
that
yeah, there are
modern right now, a lot of people would say that it's healthy because there's
So
a
many decks.
diverse amount of decks. But it's actually, they're all these linear decks that actually make it less fun to play,
Yeah.
less interesting. Not the
Yeah,
type of
I'm still
modern I
liking.
enjoy.
I'm still liking modern, but I will say that Legacy has my heart at the moment. So much more going on. Yeah, I was listing interactive decks.
Yeah, the few that
Yeah,
there are.
I figured it was easier to list off that list than to start going into the non-interactive decks, because oh man, there are a lot. All right, so we got a Catacombs into a. It's a Watery Grave. It's a it's a Watery Grave. All right. Interesting. No, I'm not listing all the boring modern decks. No, that's not what I was doing. I'm saying it's kind of bad that there are so many linear strategies that don't interact with the opponent. A lot of solitaire-esque decks. Not that I don't like any of those decks. I'm just saying at a format as a whole, there are a lot of non-interactive decks. I wouldn't quite call it boring, but I could absolutely see why you would think that, though. So, I think where there are so many, you love. Oh yeah, Lantern, yes. Oh,
Right.
see, Jorgensen, this is why you and I get along, because I love locking the opponent out and playing nice long games that we dirtle around. So I'm with you on Lantern. It's pretty sweet.
Dude, sleeves.
I was trying to fix the lighting a little bit. Looks like we maybe actually corrected it a little bit. It's
Awesome.
not quite as bad a glare as it was a moment ago.
Yay! How's that Rubik's Cube coming for you, Kyre?
I'm actually I have a Rubik's Cube in my hand, but I'm actually just fiddling with it. I'm not even looking at it.
Rad.
So
He's gonna solve it
Yeah, right?
by the end of the stream.
Jeez, yeah.
Without even looking.
Exactly.
so far, I have 4 yellows on one side on accident. I'm getting there.
All right, so I
Davis.
totally made mistakes here, right? We're not
Did
on
you?
an Esper Stoneblade.
Eric is. Davis
Yeah, you can have a Krakus.
is on like a Sultai.
This is definitely a Sultai deck. Not.
Isn't that an Underground Sea right there?
Oh yeah, that is. A
Yeah,
Underground
Esper,
Sea. Yeah, Esper.
Okay.
Blue
That
Ember.
makes sense. That makes sense. And we're on
This-
a Sultai?
This is definitely Sultai.
Sultai something.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, he's got a.
Could be.
He played a Watery Grave, and I went.
And,
Oh, Watery.
Davis, Now
Okay.
Davis's graveyard's kind of
Yeah,
Yeah, it's got a glare on it. for
glary.
that's better than it was though. We can see what's in play.
sure. None of you guys can't solve a Rubik's Cube.
Nope, too many double negatives there,
It-
Jorgensen. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Admittedly, I cannot solve a Rubik's Cube. I do not have the time or patience for it.
And
Yeah.
Going onto Google and learning how just isn't really one of the things I want to do with my time.
All the cool and all the cool kids nowadays, which I am not. They all have these cool little spinny things. I have this.
The original.
I didn't.
The original fidget spinner.
And what's funny about
Spinning
this?
sides.
And what's funny about this is I did not bring this into this room. It was actually sitting on the table
Ah.
right outside of the screen, right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I don't know if you could.
You have to pick it up and play with it if it's there, right?
And
You
so
have
when I sat down, I put it in my hand, and I've been holding it right off camera, so that none of you could make fun of me for how bad I am
to.
at it.
Creeping tar pit. Interesting. We've got a creeping tar pit coming down here.
What are you? Is that a Goyf? Yeah. It's, a
It's
Goyf.
not the
Cairo
saddest
G. Oh yeah. that's
Caracas. I've seen sadder Caracases. Maybe it's the saddest one. It's
certainly
pretty,
a lonely
It's
one.
pretty sad. Yep.
It's kind of great
Goyf
to look
is
at,
large.
to look at how many lands Davis has.
Right. Well,
and how
Eric has
little
just
Eric
been not
has.
drawing lands, is what's been happening here.
Yeah.
So he's got to discard here because he doesn't want to draw lands.
Jorgensen, oh my goodness, you are a cool person. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
I don't know where this Rubik's Cube will be when you come to Utah, but if you ever do,
Yeah.
we will find it.
That's a win, but not an if.
GPS. Okay, that's an interesting topic. GP SLC. We had one a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And this is something.
Comic-Con.
Yeah, this is something. Okay, they held it during the same week as the Salt Lake City Comic Con, which
The very
if-
first
mistake.
Salt Lake
the
City
first
Comic-Con,
one.
I believe.
And for any of you who don't know, the Salt Lake Comic Con is huge.
So
Right.
big.
It is massive, and so they hold it on this weekend, and then they also
and it was
had
sealed.
That was my next
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
It was sealed deck M15.
M15.
Right.
Yep.
Sealed.
Yep.
It wasn't a tournament that a lot of people wanted to go out to,
Right.
and so few people showed up to that GP that Wizards
probably won't do
basically
it.
said that they're just not going to give us another GP. Now, I'm sure we'll get one
Like Denver's the closest
at some
thing.
point, but typically if you live in Utah and you want to go to a GP, you've got to drive like 10 hours to Albuquerque, or you have 8 hours to Denver, and then
Vegas.
Or
and Vegas is the closest
yeah.
one, which is 6 hours, and I will be there.
Yes.
I will absolutely be in Vegas.
Vegas is gonna be such
And
a
then
blast.
we've got like LA, and then
Yeah, LA is like
pretty much like any one that comes out onto the West Coast. It's 14 hour, between 8 and 14 hours, and we can drive out there. I mean, obviously you can fly, and then it's a lot easier, but
Yeah, so it's almost.
yeah, Phoenix.
Would you
Phoenix
s-
is the same way.
Would you
Yes.
say it's even a little easier for people who want to do like grind PPTQs, who actually care about the invite, to get it, because there's so many people who don't want to travel and do
Yeah,
that
there are a lot of
distance?
people who don't want to travel. I mean, it's like
Yeah, people have traveled to the Denver RPTQ because it's smaller,
yes.
and so it's more winnable, right?
I will absolutely be in Portland in November.
People from outside of the western area,
Absolutely.
right? Like people from the
Portland is. What's the format in Portland?
I can't remember, but I go to every local GP.
Yeah, right.
So if there's one within driving distance and I happen to have a little bit of money on me, then I will head out.
I might be able to swing Portland, because
Portland will be fun.
I know the guys. Oh, jeez.
I love Portland, by the way. Awesome city to hang out in.
Yeah, just the West Coast, like Northwest, Pacific Northwest, is just a sweet place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and several of us are going to be in Vegas
Mhm.
playing some Legacy down there, whether in the GP or some side events.
There is
Yeah.
so much going on that week. Like,
Yeah. I'm
Uh,
playing in all 3 main events.
oh really?
I am already registered. I have everything set up
and
for
you're,
that.
and you're broke, right?
Uh,
As a result,
I am somewhat broke. Yes.
because
The people who I'm traveling with, they
how
have-
much the GPs cost.
Yeah, I was actually not going to be able to go to Vegas, and I had a friend say, "Oh no, you're going to Vegas," and I go, "No, I'm not."
Yeah.
And they said, "No, you're going," and I'm like, "I don't have the cash for that," and they're like, "Listen, we're going anyway.
Right.
You come in our car and stay in our room. If you can, and then all you have to do is afford the main events." And I thought about it, and I was all,
That's a pretty
Well,
good deal.
that's a
I
sweet
think-
deal.
I think I can do that.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to give them a little bit of cash anyway
Yeah.
for the trip. But yeah, I'm pretty happy to be able to go because I didn't think I was going to be able to.
That's some good value.
Mm-hmm.
So Davis cleaned up there. Looks like.
Yeah, well, Eric just never drew another
Yeah.
land after the first one got wasted, so it was an unexciting game.
Yeah, to say the least.
Let's see if we can have a little bit more interesting game 2 here.
It's funny mentioning West Coast places to go to GPs though. Probably like my least favorite place to go to is California. Like I did not want to go to LA, and I ended up going to LA to play Modern last year, I believe. And that's
Yeah.
actually where I picked up my first pro point in like the city that,
That's right, I
that
remember.
I did not like LA. Didn't really enjoy my time there, and next thing you know, I'm like, I don't know. I think I was 10-3 going into the last 2 rounds,
Right on.
and then I found a couple Tron matchups and I lost. So
Yeah,
found
John.
my way down to 10-5. It was
John does
pretty-
not like Tron.
No, in fact, in that tournament, I was playing John. I ran into Tron 4 times. Guys, it was like less than 4% of the meta, and I found Tron 4 times in 15 rounds. I did beat it twice, which that is something to mention.
All right, so Eric has to
You won a grinder and punt at the main event? Oh
he has to
man.
mulligan here, but he gets to keep 6.
That is rough. I've actually won 2 grinders, and I want to say I've done the same thing. I think I've punted both times.
Alright. Portland is standard. So hopefully standard will be fixed by then.
Maybe. Maybe I'll go play standard.
Standard's certainly more interesting than it was, but I wouldn't be thrilled to be playing standard right now. I don't like the idea of winning off of a large top spin, right?
I don't know. Maybe I did play against that Tron player. Probably not.
Yeah, just go to Complete Food Chain. Yeah, just go to Portland and
I'll tell Brian you said that. He'll appreciate it.
Yeah. It might actually be a better time, right? It's less money to play in the side events.
Yeah.
And you have a smaller pool with
side events are a lot of fun.
Equal chance at prizes.
That's what I'm doing down in Vegas. Is I'm just
playing side events.
Playing side events.
Yeah.
Hanging out.
All right, we're gonna trade some Deathrite Shamans.
Ooh.
Did we bring up standard? Oh no, we didn't bring up standard.
Since we guys brought it up.
You think that Bolas is gonna win? Well, of course he's gonna. He's not gonna kill Bolas. That wasn't even a question, right?
I hope so. The Justice League needs to die.
Die.
Yeah.
Go away. Get split up. However you want to do it.
Yeah.
I
Each
hope
go
he
to
kills
their
some
own plane
planeswalkers
by themselves individually. That might be fun.
I'd love for him to kill Gideon.
Yeah,
I don't want to see another Gideon.
Or we could enslave a few of them, a la Rogue, right? And they could change.
Trap them in a moon.
Become multicolored again, and be a little bit more intriguing that way.
For sure.
Make them white zombies.
So this is
a zombie version, an embalmed planeswalker. There we go. See, now we're getting intriguing.
Okay, so we have lands.
Yep. So we saw a Creeping Tar Pit get wasted, which makes sense from Davis' side since he's got a Deathrite. Now we've got a Deathrite versus Deathrite battle going on here. No, see, they're going to get these pentagon, octagonal diamond things, and somehow they're going to trap Bolas poorly. I don't know. I'm just whether they kill him or not.
It's hard to kill, like the magic god, right? Like.
Am I wrong to root for Bolas? Like,
No.
I
We
am.
get to see a Leovold come down, finally.
Put him in the moon. That's what I said. I was like, put some of the Justice League in the moon, see how they like it. Jerks. No, I hate Eldrazi. I was...
Yeah, we
like,
can definitely
let them go, but I don't hate the Planeswalkers quite as much, but they can go too. They're not invincible.
Yeah, or at least change like Nissa. Make it different, right?
They've done a pretty decent job with that.
I mean, except for Gideon, right? Like, who has stayed the same throughout.
Summon Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon.
So we've got...
I always forget to summon Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon.
It looks like Davis is the one who's thinking here, but I'm not sure what he's thinking about.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Because he just...
Played Leovold.
No, I think...
Are we on Eric's turn?
It's got to be Eric's turn, because Davis just resolved...
Okay.
Yeah, okay, we're going to Wasteland.
We got a Wasteland, which triggers Leovold if he remembers it.
I'll take that as a no.
That is a no.
Is that him remembering it there? No, maybe not. Guess not.
It looks like he's just trying to speed through some stuff here.
Man, I've said this before on this stream, but I have seen more missed triggers and more, like, problems in a match due to Leovold than any other card.
Right. It's really easy to miss it. And then later you go back and look at it and go,
like, oh, he could have done this. Oh.
Yep. But getting hit with a Grape Shot when you have a Leovold out feels really good. I got to draw
Even
like
if you
8
die?
cards once. No, I didn't. It wasn't lethal. So,
A non-lethal Grape Shot?
Yeah.
With Leovold
It was great. It was great. I got to draw 8 cards and my opponent went, wait, oh no. Yep, that happened once.
You're like, yes, those are all individual spells.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
You're going to target Leovold 3 times and me 5 times? Okay. I'm okay with that.
Deal.
Seems like a good trade. We got some hand waving going on, some discussion. So Stoneforge obviously went and got Batterskull there.
Yes.
Nothing too difficult to...
Surprise.
Davis has a Wasteland in hand. Looks like he can keep Eric off
Yeah, no.
white again.
Not with a Deathrite out. That doesn't quite get it done.
Oh, because he's got the death right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Wastelands look way poorer when death rights are in play.
That's right. This 1 mana planeswalker that I forget that he makes mana sometimes.
You know you're shuffling your hand around a little too much when you throw half of it
Yeah,
on
right?
the floor. So the next thing you know, you see Eric just put it down on the table and just like, all right.
Yeah.
You chill out there for a sec.
Let's relax. Take a deep breath.
Yeah, Leovold's actually really strong. He's
Really
shutting
strong.
down Brainstorm, doing a lot of damage.
Make-
But
The almighty Demigorgon.
Yeah, he did miss his chance. I didn't see where his chance was, but I'll assume that he did have a good chance.
so here we've got a Deathrite battle happening. Davis tries to get tapped for some mana by exiling a Wasteland, and Eric gets to respond by exiling that land for mana. And a Baleful Strix.
His chance was. Lucky for him, he has a backup play. And Baleful Strix will help him find another land, I would assume.
There's a deep dig right there in the chat for us. Ouch. Coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, right?
All right, we got to see. So Strix came down after Leovold hit for 3. Eric's going to try and do something. He's going to think about it first here.
Yeah.
We know he's got a Batter Skull in hand. He's just going to pass. That makes sense. Leave the Batter Skull as a potential blocker. Let's see if Davis can get something going here. He's got several cards in his hand that have been sitting in the back of his hand, and I actually don't know what they are. Like, he's
Get
just
some
been
lands up
shuffling the
front.
top couple cards, right? So
Which are all land. Yeah.
It's like a lot of land. Yeah, he drew a trop.
he might have
Shocking and Wandering
Liliana
Grave.
in hand. There's the
There
Liliana.
she is.
Okay. Yeah, and this is a nice play here.
It's like, all right, you either get your death right or your
Yeah.
Stoneforge.
Removing either of those helps. It's not backbreaking by any means, especially when there's a germ token about to hit. But
I do think that he'll activate and sack the Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah.
I would assume so.
It's like, do you have a stifle?
all right.
You're going on a timeout, troll.
Jump into Twitch and say things, I guess, right? That's what you can do. That's part of Twitch chat.
That's not how I do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here we got the germ token as we expected, and there, just like you said, he's going to choose to get rid of the Deathrite.
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
not the Deathrite. Sorry, the Stoneforge.
yeah, Stoneforge. Davis has already kind of shown him that the death right's important. Just ban him too.
Yeah. Guys, we have a family-friendly stream, so let's not. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We've been streaming for quite a few weeks now.
Yeah, we haven't really
What,
been
3 months now
on the receiving end of
or so? And,
too many.
and had a pretty clean chat. Most of that's probably because the people that have come in have been pretty legacy
Oriented people.
They're here for the magic, right?
I mean,
It had some pretty good chats.
yeah, it's the like color of legacy players. You get a lot more people like who care about the game and like
Right.
because of the nature of the format.
Yep. As opposed to a
they're
standard
more mature
chat or
people,
something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Or people that just like to say things because they can.
For sure.
So this is a kind of a tricky board state at the moment, right? We've got Eric's got a Batter Skull. Davis has got a Leovold that hopefully he'll remember his triggers next time and gets to draw cards. But Eric's kind of limited on what he can do for the next little while. True Name Nemesis does not limit him. That's a pretty strong play here.
Yeah, and if he has a land next turn, he can get Batter Skull onto it. That's
Yeah.
about as scary as it gets for Davis.
And Davis has got a bunch of lands in hand. it looks
Strong
like.
lands.
Right, exactly, Jorgensen.
Yeah.
We just, for a moment there, we're all looking at it going,
It's like,
what do we do
wait
with
a
this?
second.
What do-
Then,
this-
oh wait,
this
we can
hasn't
ban these
hap-
people.
This hasn't happened to us here in our
Or
chat.
time. They're on timeout right now. If it happens again, it's the ban hammer.
Take that as a compliment. I'm
Take
looking
that
at it
as a
going.
compliment.
Most of what they said was not a compliment, but
Ancestral
Oh,
Vision,
yeah.
not
The
really
compliment
what you
we're
want to
getting
see
bigger.
in
Yeah.
this stage of the game.
someone
Bump the camera.
Because we've got Patrick just off camera here, is that, or because the actual camera?
The stream camera or like our webcam camera?
No, Patrick's standing off screen because there is nowhere to sit.
Yes.
That's true.
We've got...
It's a pretty slow night tonight, so.
Oh, there we go. That doesn't help at all.
We also have this box
Yeah,
here.
you could move
chilling.
that box. There are other places where that box could go.
Yeah. Then we have to like
Okay.
adjust the thing.
So we got
and
a
it's
death
fine.
right battle here happening. He's going to let it resolve. Okay, you get your mana. Interesting.
You got it.
I think I would have tapped there and activated my own death right to hit him for 2.
Absolutely. Something else.
Yes, it does
Yeah.
get bumped occasionally, and makes things always interesting. Also, I've got the names a little skewy, so that kind of changes the perspective, right? One of them's a little larger. than
It
the other.
is a little to the left. Like, yeah.
We can shrink
I,
this. just
I was
a
by
little.
myself trying to set this up today. It helps when you have someone in here
There we go.
to
Maybe
make sure
Maybe
you're on the straight line there.
So True Name is going to hit for 3. As long as he's only taking 3 each turn, that vision might actually get to resolve here in a little bit.
Hey, what? He's at
So
17.
now we've got double death right for Davis. One of them's... Woo!
So a little movement. It's
Terror
like,
Flash. Okay.
Shows
so
you
now,
how long it's been since you've been out on the floor.
This time, Davis does remember his Leovold trigger.
trigger.
So Surge to Plowshares on the Baleful Strix. And that was at end of turn. So that way Eric can attack with both Vigilant Germ and a True Name. That makes some sense.
Yeah, I think so. At first, I was looking at it going, okay, why would you kill the Baleful Strix when it's not going to be blocking anyway?
Right.
I guess where he's having trouble getting mana off of the Deathrite Shaman, he just doesn't have access to that 5th land.
So Davis is going for I believe a main phase, interesting, Deathrite removing the swords. Goes and hits Eric for 2, which isn't nearly as effective when he's gaining 4 life off of... Oh, okay, that was end of turn. That makes more sense. Thoughtseize, that's not really what you want. He's got Bayou, Thoughtseize, I believe another land, and maybe a 3rd land as well.
So does this mean we're actually playing Shardless?
We haven't yet seen an actual Shardless agent. That
we
makes
haven't.
sense. That makes a lot of sense.
I would assume so.
That's what this list looks like so far, for sure. The one thing is the Creeping Tar Pit. I'm not sure on that one. I guess Shardless sometimes plays a 1-off Creeping Tar Pit.
Yeah.
Yep, all he can do is pass. So Eric is definitely strongly in the driver's seat here. And it doesn't really make sense to double block to kill the Germ token. You lose Leovold and or a Death Right.
Yeah. Yeah, Leovold is something he really is planning on keeping.
Yeah, and whatever cards are in Eric's hand are...
Eric does have a Brainstorm.
Here's a main Rest in Peace. Gonna shut down some Deathrite shamans here. So we're gonna have a little battle of Deathrighting. In the end, Davis is gonna get 1.
One activation.
1 activation, yeah.
And he's going to gain life. That's what he was going for.
Eric's looking for a green source, I believe. Because they were battling over a creature there. There's the green source. So they both tried to remove the creature. What that does is it only gives Davis the one activation instead of 2.
Yeah.
Now that was a bump.
Yeah. Small earthquake, minor earthquake.
Yeah, we get those in Utah all the time.
We don't.
Shut up!
Alright, now here comes a double block.
Yeah, this is our desperation block. This is something he has to be
Triple
doing
team.
just to stay alive.
Take that, Germ. Leavold's gonna
Rest
die.
in peace for Goyfs.
For Death Rights, really, is
And Death Right,
is the main effect
Yeah,
there.
it turns off his too, right?
When Davis is only really having 2 Death Rights out, it's an effective play. Alright, so
Ancestral.
is Eric
target
going to
me.
get to do anything here? He gets to draw 4 cards. Him to Turok, a land, draw for turn, and that's not going to do it. Whatever it was. He needs a Toxic Deluge. Yeah. He thinks about it for a moment. Just fun stuff. All right, so we've got 1-1.
1-1. I mean, Eric's got to be feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, I think.
Like,
Yeah, I think he has more ways to interact with his opponent than Sultai does.
just like, don't
Shardless deck.
get mana screwed.
Well, and Shardless, if he actually has a Shardless agent, can pull ahead pretty well. Leovold does the trick,
Yeah, they get ahead by card advantage.
right? He just didn't. He just kept drawing lands again.
yeah, it
That's
was
what we
hard
saw.
to. It's hard to tell what Davis is playing because the first game it was just your average run-of-the-mill Sultai cards. Same thing here. He just drew just a ton of lands.
There's a couple different Sultai decks that I've seen, and what's funny about what we've seen from Davis is I haven't actually seen anything to like push them one way or the other.
Right.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen any Noble Hierarchs.
Right.
It's
So
not that
I don't
deck.
think he's playing the. Yeah, I don't think he's playing the redo.
But I also
True
haven't
Name
seen any
Nemesis.
Shardless agents, so
That's my guess. Is we're on the Shardless build,
yeah.
which is not nearly as strong as it once was in a post-top world. Miracles is kind of coming back in a way, right?
Yeah.
It's still a deck, but I don't think we're going to be seeing a ton of people playing it.
We've got one here tonight. A guy's playing Portent.
Yeah, that's the build.
Portent.
Okay, sorry, just
Roll.
knocking things over.
It's all good.
I was
These
gonna
things
blame,
are so
I was gonna
good.
blame Patrick. Apple juice, yeah. Apple juice is kind of amazing. This one's Martinelli's, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So Davis is going to be on the play. Let's see if we can get a match here. We'll just have another minor bouncing around here for a moment.
Hey.
It's okay.
With the trash can, bro.
It's okay.
Cool.
We got a turn 1 visions suspended. A little different than turn
Yeah,
19.
seeing the visions makes me think he's on Shardless for sure.
Oh, because it just you cast it when it cascades.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is the whole point.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
you brainstorm, you set it up.
Or cascade into him or whatever other good
Yeah.
card.
Yeah, there are a lot of good cards to hit. Baleful Strix.
Yeah. Kyrie knows all about cascading because he loves to cast Bloodbraid Elves.
Ooh,
I
here's
have-
a him
I've
as we
top aided
speak.
like 2 PTQs with standard Juns. I played Bloodbraid Elf when it was in standard, as it turns out.
Himu. Let's lay these out and get to it random.
So I might be a little biased.
Roll.
It's a 2 and a 3.
And he hits 2 lands.
2 lands.
Oh.
Luckily he got that Death Ray
Yeah,
shot
right?
out there.
Exactly.
Looks like he was on a pretty land-heavy hand anyway.
True name.
Yeah,
Turn
well.
2 True Name Nemesis coming down here.
Yep.
Looks like it. Exile your fetch.
That's pretty effective. Do you have a counter spell? How about a...
Don't daze me,
Flicker?
bro.
None.
So I wonder how much Davis has after sideboard to deal with something like True Name Nemesis. And there's the Shardless
There's
issue.
Shardless.
Shardless.
Alright.
Blind Shardless
Switch the
into...
name.
Yeah.
Oh,
it. Oh, because you switched to Mario. Okay.
That's right. Yes, because they got moved.
Yeah, it's faster to move when you do them wrong. Try the Sultai. There we go.
Boom.
All right, so
Oh,
Eric just needs
Confirmed.
one equipment, right? And it puts the clock way faster here.
Mm-hmm.
He's
got another
resolving a brainstorm.
Oh, he's putting it away.
Probably wise to resolve the brainstorms before we see a Leavold come down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got a swords.
There's a swords targeting Deathrite Shaman.
Yeah, I think the 2/2 is not a great target.
It's definitely the bigger threat when you have your own death right out, right?
Mhm.
Then you get to do things, and they don't.
There's a Joth, the Mind Sculptor.
Yeah, he's a mana short now.
Yeah.
Brainstorm! Okay.
There's Leovold,
Yeah.
but
Can't play
cast
Leovold
him.
here off the colorless mana.
No, sir.
So Eric looks to be in a really strong spot here. Davis, I think, can come back,
Yeah, if he finds a decay for the Deathrite Shaman,
and he'll have this vision come off here pretty soon. I think there's still two
There are two.
yeah,
counters
I
on it.
don't know what answers he has in his deck for True Name Nemesis.
I would assume he would have a Toxic Deluge somewhere
Mhm,
in
right.
his 75.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we are going to
There's a
dismember
bit.
the...
For a second, it looked like
That is a
Skull
dismember, my
Yeah,
friend
so-
Patrick.
he's going to float a mana.
Just because he can. Just to remove a land here. There we go.
I think he also wants to brainstorm.
That changes things a little bit.
Yeah, he's like, before you move to
Yeah,
the phase, we're
yeah.
gonna brainstorm.
Yep, Eric is like, yeah, we need to find some land to make up for the
Right.
ones we lost.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's actually going to be locked in here. I don't see a
Yeah,
fetch or
yeah.
anything.
Yeah, he absolutely is.
So we're going to see a
Little race.
3-power True Name Nemesis versus a 2-power agent here. Let's see how long.
This is a huge shift, though. Even though the race still favors Eric heavily, Davis has a couple draws to find something
Yeah.
to
Oh,
switch
yeah,
that
yeah.
around.
He's got the Leovold he can play, so that increases his
Oh,
clock.
okay. There's a Deathrite Shaman, though, so that changes things a little
Yep.
bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was only one counter on it at the time.
Okay.
So we'll see what he draws off this Visions.
2 Leovold and a Jace is what I just saw. And
Oh,
there's a Diabolic Edict.
There we go.
So he's got to get rid of that Deathrite Shaman.
Yeah.
And I don't think he found a land in those.
Right,
So
yeah.
so he can't even Jace and bounce it. Yeah, he's
gonna
gonna brainstorm.
There's a land.
There we go.
I know Liliana. Either
Oof.
one of those work. That's a line right there.
Land into Liliana.
See, he can even Liliana make him sacrifice, have the True Name take out Liliana.
Take out yes, and it
Sa-
works.
saves him some life, and then he
And
can
then
eat
hit
it
him with
next
the
turn.
edict,
That's a great line.
Yeah, provided that Eric isn't able to play another creature, which I don't think he is.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be able to.
If he draws a land, he has a Snapcaster in hand, which he could snap out as,
You know,
as a
in
response.
fact, looking at this, I wonder if it may be correct to sack the True Name. He might need the mana more than he
Right.
needs the True Name.
Yeah. Well, the True
Seeing a
Name is
Liliana-
on a, 3-4 turn clock here.
Yeah. But seeing a Liliana come down onto the board, that
Let's see, where are we at? It's 11 to 17? Are those life totals there?
Yeah.
Okay.
11 to 17. All right.
how's it going, Mohammed? Nice to see you.
Yep, he gets rid of the death, right? That's the easier to see line for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so we know Eric's not going to be drawing land for the next 2 turns.
Right.
There's
And
the
so he
Liliana.
takes out the
Yep,
Liliana.
yep. Works as a great fog.
And Davis has that Diabolic Edict that's
Yeah.
going to take this out. This was the exact kind of shift I was thinking.
Yeah, where the drawing a whole bunch of cards makes a
Mhm.
difference. The
Yeah.
turn 1 suspended vision changes things.
Diabolic Edict, target you.
And if Eric had a Force of Will or something like that,
Would have been
he
used.
already would have used it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Post combat.
And we got a Leovold.
Yeah. Eric's still not drawing a land here. Oh, there it is.
Oh.
There was the land. Okay. So he after the
Yeah,
just
just after the
brainstorms
brainstorm.
and then
Slams
there's
it.
land the next one. So
What
we know
place
he's got a
does he have,
Snapcaster in hand. Rest in Peace isn't going to really do anything.
He's got
Yeah.
a Supreme Verdict, a Snapcaster, and a Rest in Peace,
Yeah.
And attack for
and
5 here.
another true name.
Oh, and Davis just drew a Wasteland.
Ugh.
That feels good.
Those cards are
So
different.
pre-combat, yep. Target your...
So we just put out a Snapcaster here just to have one.
Yep, he's...
As a blocker, maybe trade with the agent.
He'll probably trade with the agent. But we're resolving Jace, so...
Yeah, I guess you can.
I
go
think
minus.
you do want to offer the trade for the agent. A Jace on an empty
Yeah.
board is much more threatening.
For sure. That way you can Fate Seal, make sure he doesn't hit another land,
Yeah.
and just kind of lock things up.
Yeah, so he's going
He's
to brainstorm
brainstorming.
instead. That's all right. Fix your own stuff first. When you're sitting on what he had a land in hand previously and not much else. Basic.
He might be searching for a force, just something to counter something important instead of trying to get there with a Fate Seal.
Yeah. Well, and he's got a couple turns, right? Like we
Yeah.
know Eric's even if he has another land, nothing's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And Davis probably knows that as well, as evidenced by what his
Shaman.
2-drop was.
Okay.
Speeds up the clock.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's 2 turns.
Eric doesn't have anything there, and so even if he draws a land here, I don't think he has anything.
No, he doesn't.
Strix.
Jace can just bounce anything he does play regardless.
Brainstorm.
He can set up a Shardless Agent if he wants to here.
I think that's what we call doing it.
Yeah! Well, and getting to Wasteland at the right time, getting rid of a Deathrite Shaman at the right time, and then Eric brainstorming and not seeing any lands in that brainstorm and getting locked into that. The
I
brainstorm
think-
pretty much did nothing.
Yeah, I think that sequence of bad luck for Eric
Yeah.
really killed him.
So Davis is able to shuffle away a basic forest through that combination of Shardless Agenting and brainstorming, and see the Strix for the ultimate value there. And swing for 3. Just a little bit of unfair board states here, right? Just a little. One player has a little bit of everything. The other player has
Wasteland.
one land, and Wasteland doesn't help. Yeah,
Rest
take
in
that.
peace.
Rest in peace.
All
There
right,
we go.
Rip.
Response.
Play the card you can, right?
Exile
your brainstorm, drain you.
And he's got lethal next turn. So that's gonna do it for Davis and Eric here. And
Davis needs to
okay,
exile his
so
graveyard.
we saw Ancestral Vision suspended on turn 1.
Yes.
And that's probably what made the difference here. The reason why Davis has so much stuff going on is because he was able to draw so many cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then some bad luck where Eric brainstorms trying to hit another land and doesn't see one.
Absolutely. Take the Deathrite.
Attack with death.
So
All right, Shardless Sultai. So
Yeah.
I would guess that we'll be seeing that next round.
Yeah,
then.
we'll see Davis next round. I think he took down our Legacy tournament last.
we'll switch up here.
Maybe
last Tuesday.
Maybe Friday.
I'll let you sit
Or,
down for a
yeah.
second.
I don't
No, it was a 4-round tournament. Yeah. He said he had some pretty decent luck, so he's like, I guess I'll just do the 4-round again. So
All right.
cool. All right. Well, Bryce has gone to go check on the time.
He is. Good guy, Bryce.
Good guy, Bryce.
Keeping us in the loop
Yeah.
while I'm trapped up against 2 walls and a Patrick.
I mean, how bad is it to be trapped against a Patrick, right?
He's pretty cool. Sweet. I hung out with him once.
Or twice.
Or twice.
Or like for a year
Yeah.
down in
Every day.
Or it's mostly every day. So let's see. I'm curious what some of our viewers, if they play Legacy, what they play. If you want to shout out your deck in the chat, that'd be cool.
Go
Back to standard talk then. So Marvel. No.
So standard equals Marvel.
Yeah.
All right, that's discussion.
Discussion over.
Good talk.
I mean, here at our shop, we had on Monday. So we had 14 people, record for our Monday standard, which was insane because it's a super stale and boring format, and I definitely preferred Cat better. Anyways, yeah, it was all blue-white or blue-red control or pummeler. There was no. We had no Marvel decks here on Monday.
I think enough people don't like it that they won't bring it. Because
Nope.
the store up by my house. Yeah, I think there's like one Marvel player a week out of 20 people. That's people just kind of refuse to let that be the format, and they're just playing it as if it wasn't that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like agreed, Jorgensen. I mean, I don't even know what I would pinpoint as my favorite Legacy deck either.
Yeah.
I like them so much.
Didn't you see the Kappa?
Yeah,
I
this is
mean-
why I'm trying to switch the subject back to your Legacy
Yeah.
statement.
So. Yeah, I'm on Infect. I might get into Delver next, or something like Jund, or something different that's more mid-ranging once I have a hold on playing Legacy. I think I was talking to Josh Snow. 6 minutes left. I was talking to Josh Snow on Sunday. I went and played up at Oasis, and he was like, "I'm playing Stoneblade because I'd rather lose to myself than to my deck, right? Because like I'm a better Legacy player, so I'm going to play a deck that's more skill intensive, rather than having the like God Hand. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Infect is a rough deck to play right now. I mean, obviously it has its matchups where it's just going to tear them up, but I think most decks are that way, but I think this one's a little more fragile than it used to be.
Yeah, at first it seemed like when they banned Topped, it was going to be a good deck to play, but the meta has definitely shifted, and
So there you go.
yeah, I guess I could play Reanimator. I guess. But that's the thing is, though, everyone knows how to play against Reanimator.
The Miracle ban. Okay, Infect wasn't great against Miracles, but the thing is the decks that have come out on top after the Miracle ban, they tend to be pretty good against what Infect is doing.
Yes. And that has been... There's been a lot more Wastelands, so Nexus isn't as good.
Yeah. And the printing of Fatal Push, doesn't matter what format you're playing, it's gonna be good. Kills every creature, and it also kills the Nexus.
Yeah, Fatal Push is great.
Yeah, they just banned Top. I mean,
Yeah, I mean...
you can call this other Miracles deck a Miracle deck, but I think it's better classified as just a blue-white control.
Like a blue-white control with Isochron Scepters posing as tops.
I haven't seen Isochron Scepter.
Yeah, our guy tonight is playing Isochron Scepter in his Portent blue-white deck.
Yeah, I haven't seen Isochron Scepter in them before, but I mean, that card's sweet, so I don't see why not. Don't crush my dreams. Perfect for Gen Con.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
no!
I'm fighting a good fight.
Hold on. Don't go that far. I mean, I'm saying that Infect isn't like.
It's not a bad deck.
I am not dissing on Infect. I'm just saying like it's not at the top of the tier list. I'm not even saying it's like tier 2 or anything. I'm just saying it has some rough times with stuff like Delver.
Yeah, you don't get as many free wins.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it's rough. It's just
Yeah.
it's a lot harder to pilot.
Thank you, Jorgensen.
Yeah. Again,
You said
on
it better than
Sunday,
I could. Infect is still good. It's just rough.
Rough.
Yes, Infect is a good deck. Don't get me wrong. When I talk crap on things, and I don't know how many people of you are like regulars on this stream, but when I talk crap on things, trust me on this. I'm making it less than other things. I'm not trying to say it's like bad or unplayable. That is not what I said. Yeah, Infect's a great deck.
Yeah, I think rough is the proper word for how that deck plays.
I am playing a deck that is it's more rough than Infect.
Yeah.
Okay, my deck is not even tier 1, so
Jund them out.
consider yourself. You're making better choices than I am.
I think it was LSV on Channel Fireball that he put out a little thing for the Legacy GP in preparation for Vegas, saying that Legacy is just a bunch of 1.5 decks.
All right.
Like
I think Grixis Delver might be the exception to that.
yeah,
but yeah.
like there's a couple ones and then just a crap ton of 1.5s. Where like Legacy's the
Critical
format for you if it's like where you want to know like your deck and you just keep grinding that deck so you know all the ins and outs.
Yeah.
And how to play against these other decks.
The Program 52, Critical Kyre, new nickname. All right.
Critical Kyre.
I actually don't hate the nickname. I am quite critical of things. I think it's important to look at things from every aspect. I do not. I actually don't like calling things good or bad. I'm a very in between kind of guy. I like finding exactly where things are from many different angles, and often that means goods and bads.
Yeah.
I don't think of myself quite critical, but I think I pick things apart quite a bit.
KO Kyre.
Let's put it that way.
Spoken like a Legacy Jund player.
I mean, I am a Legacy Jund player.
It's true.
So, I mean, if I didn't say it like a Legacy Jund player, then what kind of Legacy Jund player would I be? Am I right?
Exactly. Oh man. All right. I'm gonna go check on that out there. See.
Yeah, we're probably getting
what's
pretty
going on.
close.
Yeah, it feels like we should be pretty close to time. Just kind of wrap things up. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Be right back, guys.
All right. However, on this topic, I think that if I had access to more Legacy cards, I probably wouldn't be playing Jund. Yeah, we've got a couple more games left, the program. 52. I think we just hit time. I just barely heard him say time in the round. But yeah, I probably wouldn't be playing Jund if I had access to all the cards. Yeah, Bryce abandoned me. He's like, Kyre will be fine. He's good at talking about things. That's not entirely true, but I try. Yeah, I think if I had to choose a deck though, I'd probably be on a Stoneblade variant. I think they attack. I think they attack and defend in most matchups well, and I'm a player who particularly enjoys being able to audible into new game plans. So, for instance, when I keep a hand, I don't typically like playing a deck that, okay, this is my game plan. If something happens to it, then I'm probably going to lose. I like decks that something will happen to my game plan, and then I can shift and onto another game plan. And if they mess that one up, then I can shift onto a new one. Whether that's hating out what my opponent's doing, or whether it's being proactive and aggressive.
So it turns. We've got two players. Two matches still going.
Two matches still going in turns.
Sorry, I thought Patrick was back here with you.
He just barely walked out, so
Okay.
good timing.
So we had, of our other undefeated matches, we had Rich playing Tony. So
Okay.
the Jund deck we saw earlier on the stream playing against the Turbo decks, and Rich won. The Punishing Jund won.
Awesome.
So he's probably one of our players,
So it looks like Sultai will be playing against
possibly,
Jund then?
or maybe against the Death and Taxes. We might have three undefeateds at the moment.
See, guys, Jund's not all bad. It has a lot of game against a lot of decks. Look at that.
That's right. No, I wanted to see what other decks we are playing and
Yeah.
how long things were going. I didn't just abandon you. I mean, there was Patrick in here. He seemed like he wanted to sit down too.
Yeah. And you can tell he gets excited about stuff. He speaks much louder than I do. You can tell he's passionate.
Yeah, we're in turns. We have just a couple matches still finishing up here, and we'll have a round 4 for you.
The program we had 22 players.
I believe so. Yep,
22.
I think we had 22 players today.
Yeah. Once the summer's hit, we've had a slight downtick in our nights, but not by a lot.
I'm a little surprised that we actually haven't had more players. I thought we'd have more today, just because people wanting to get ready for Vegas, for GP Vegas. play some Legacy.
And from the impression I've been given, most of these guys are going.
Yeah, yep, a lot of them.
A lot of them.
Which makes sense. You're playing Legacy, you get to play for reals, right?
For anybody who hasn't played in a Legacy GP, guys, it's so much fun.
I have not actually played in a Legacy GP.
It is
I've
a
played
lot
in
of fun.
Some Modern and some Standard, but not Legacy.
I think a GP setting is much more fun playing Legacy than any other format.
I don't know what I would bring actually today.
If you had to choose today?
Yeah, if I had to choose today. Like, I've been playing Delver, but I've been playing kind of a tier 1.5 Delver, not the greatest build. Not so much Treasure... You don't like Treasure Cruise Legacy GPs? Come on! That's a good time. But you get to be a part of... I have a hard time with the cost of the entry.
Tone, that was a part of Magic history. You experienced that.
Yeah, you got to see Treasure Cruise in action.
I didn't. Did you?
No, I didn't play.
I didn't.
I didn't play Legacy during that time.
Either.
So, because they upped the cost of the Open so much, it would be nice if the prizes equaled that. Like, if there was an equal distribution of...
I have heard people talk about a lot more money being distributed from 9th place to 16th. Right. I haven't actually looked into that yet, but and
it gets into weird, like, number of players and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But that's... So what? You get your entry fee back if you get 64th place? That doesn't feel like winning to me.
No, that does not.
Not when your entry fee is $90 to $100.
No.
It's kind of sad when if first place gets a couple thousand and you're going, wait a minute, is it 10,000 for first?
That might be Jeep. That might be Pro Tour
I don't remember what it is now, but whatever it is, especially if you end up splitting, which is often what happens in a top 4, top 8 situation, right? So you end up getting $500 or $1,000 or something like that, and you go, wait a minute, this is 10 people's entry fee? Wait a minute. Yeah. It's that's not why we go and play, right? And they know that. They know that. But it is a little disappointing when you see such a huge cost. And I know they're expensive to run, but they were doable at $60 for entry fee. So now that they're almost double that.
All right. So 90. For our finals, we're going to have Davis and Rich. Cameraman Rich.
That's what you just said. There we go. So one of these players is going to be Rich on...
Jund.
Punishing Jund. He's going to punish him...
Jund the Mao.
There he is. We even did it on the right side. And on the other side, we've got Davis playing Shardless Sultai. It's already up there. Look at this.
Boom.
Look at this. We're just going to...
How prepared.
Update some things here, like this. And we're on round 4. We're going to do 4 rounds today. So this is kind of fun because we don't get to see a lot of Shardless anymore.
No, we don't. And in fact, we don't see a whole lot of Jund either. So
right?
this is an interesting finals.
Yeah. Do we have one other undefeated? We have Death and Taxes undefeated.
I don't think so. Let me take a look.
Right, exactly. And if the prizes are amazing, then it feels better, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes
There's
the prize
3 undefeated players. These 2 and then Paul.
Paul on Death and Taxes.
Yeah.
And Paul has actually been doing really, really well. With
Oh, he is consistently
He's been like
winning
3-0 going into the last round. The last 3 of them. Yeah.
So that's cool.
But what it does is it makes side events feel more attractive, right? When they're more affordable and they are shorter, they're smaller. And sometimes, like I played in a side event that had a playset of unlimited underground seas as the prize, right? And it was super top heavy, but it was a Modern Masters sealed, right?
Yeah.
That was a good prize.
Yeah.
And this was a couple years ago, but I had a much better shot of winning that, and I almost did, compared to winning the GP, which I had a bad pool and I was done, right? And the entry fee was
sealed
much
GP.
better. Yeah. Sealed Modern Masters GP too, which is a different thing altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of our owners actually. Did you hear the story about Alton? So down in GP Orlando, he opens like the worst sealed pool ever. And like when he goes back after his round 1, he shows them all. It's just like this bad. Like they all agree that it's just like the worst Aether Revolt sealed pool they've ever seen. It gets called to be on camera round 1.
Oh no!
And the commentators, because the other guy's deck was running so smoothly, like they couldn't tell that Alton's deck was actually bad.
Sure. Right.
So
we've got a Watery Grave into Deathrite Shaman, and Rich has a turn 1 Thoughtseize. And we're going to write down here, we've got Abrupt Decay, Shardless Agent, Force of Will, and a Misty Rainforce. I believe that's an Abrupt Decay, right? That hidden one?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Which...
This is going to be a rough take. He may want to just take the Shardless Agent.
Yeah, that's going to come down next turn.
Yeah.
Abrupt Decay right now doesn't have a target. Yep, there's that makes sense.
Take the Shardless Agent.
Yeah, and that's like a 2-for-1, right?
It's yes, because it's not only taking a creature out of the hand, but it's also taking away.
It looks like it was going to hit Abrupt Decay, which wouldn't have had a target. I mean, he could have targeted his own.
So triple Abrupt Decay.
Yeah. The first few things Rich does are going to die.
He drew the Abrupt Decay though.
Right,
so.
but that's what. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we
Shardless
don't
would have hit the next card.
Yeah,
You're right.
Himmu.
So yeah, we're gonna.
Chances are an Abrupt Decay is going to go to the bin here.
I would assume he's got
There's
3 in
a
his hand.
75% chance that at least one goes to the bin.
So he definitely wants to hit the Force of Will.
Well, it doesn't really matter actually. Force of Will.
Force of Will's dead, but I think it has the most pull going forward. Yeah, so he got the Force of Will and an Abrupt Decay, so it leaves him with 2 Abrupt Decay, and he draws a Wasteland.
Yeesh.
And he's going to take care of the Badlands. And
Take 1!
Attack for 1!
Deathrite beats.
Get in.
That's definitely the death wrong way to use that card.
Yeah. That pun was fantastic. I gotta give you props here. Yeah.
I only give credit where credit's due.
I think this... I think that this Dark Confidant's going to die.
Yeah, I think it's going to get Abrupt Decayed.
There it goes. It was a slow decay. It wasn't very abrupt. It took its time.
So you guys were talking about side events?
Yeah, side events.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that a constructed side event is 20 bones down in Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, and some of the drafts or limited ones are like 15.
Well, and you have to pay for parking. Sorry, it's
No.
true. You do actually have to pay for parking, but
Not at our hotel.
no, at the convention center. If you drive to the convention center, you have to pay.
Our Paragon is lucky to have be staying in the hotel that's connected to the event center.
Yeah, you just walk over from the
you
West
just
Gate.
walk over. Yeah.
There's a couple hotels right there, which is pretty nice.
See, you guys think you're so cool, but I'm going to be right on Fremont Street.
That's also very cool.
And
You
you
guys
don't
at the
have to pay for parking
plaza,
there.
Golden Spike. Where you guys stand?
It's the one across. It's the one on the other side from the plaza. Is it the Cortez? The Cortez?
Rich is going, wait a minute.
Maybe.
I got
It's the
rid
Cor-
of
I
2
think
of
it's the
those abrupt
Cortez.
Ks. Where's this third one coming from?
Hey, wait a second.
Yeah. Alright, so he gets to keep
Eat your
a
hand.
Deathrite Shaman, which, considering where he was at just a moment ago, he just fought through 3 Abrupt Decays, and he still has a Deathrite Shaman in board.
Yeah, I mean, he's got his opponent Hellbent. That's exactly where he wants him to be. So now it's just going to be card for card, which, something to mention, Shardless can hold on card for card with Jund.
Right.
So this game is not even over.
So Davis is going
Especially-
to use his Deathrite Shaman twice before Rich is going to get a chance to here. However, Rich
Heads
now
up.
can. But Rich is way behind in life at the moment, so he needs something here. Let's see what he can do for 4. Does he have a 4-drop? I mean, Rich definitely has ways to deal with this Deathrite Shaman, right?
Yeah, if this is a Bloodbraid Elf, then this is
Bloodbraid definitely gets it done, so do several other cards.
right. If Bloodbraid comes and finds a Lightning Bolt or an Abrupt Decay,
There it is.
there's the Bloodbraid Elf. And there's Punishing Fire.
There we
Alright.
go. That probably gets the trick.
Yeah,
Does the trick.
comes in for 4. That is a huge shift in Rich's favor. We've got a Brainstorm.
We got a him and a Jace and a
Oof.
land. That works. You gotta shuffle away your him you probably don't want. You gotta play a Jace. But you don't really want to bounce Bloodbraid Elf back to your hand, right? Back to his
No,
hand.
you do not want to bounce
No,
the Bloodbraid
not
Elf.
so much. So he's gonna keep the him. Interesting.
Bloodbraid Elf is notorious for attacking Jace, just saying. It's kind of good at it.
Rich discards a card. We don't. It's shiny.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Liliana's fine here. You can swing, leave up Deathrite, and tick up Lily.
Attack for 3. And we've got a Liliana.
Nice shiny.
Now, this is a this is a board save for John.
Right?
I mean,
Yeah.
Jace isn't gonna fix things for him.
I think you have to brainstorm here.
I think
Hoping to get something.
he absolutely has to brainstorm.
You know you have a fetch land on top. And
Rich points to his Bloodbraid Elf like,
right? This is gonna kill your Jace. That's what's gonna happen here.
And if you don't cast the card that you're about to draw, then Liliana will make you discard it.
Yeah. So you have to smartly put things the way you actually want them, right? The card you're gonna get rid of, and the card you want to keep.
Yes.
So the Shardless is gonna go on top. A land underneath that. Land in his hand. There we go.
And he will play the land.
Sure, might as well.
Yeah.
Go to 8.
Yeah, get rid of him.
So now right here, do you attack for damage or do you attack Jace?
I would attack Jace.
Let's see, you put him down to 5. Okay, yeah. Oh, and a punishing fire too. Why not?
Yeah,
It's fulfilling its life purpose. It feels that way. It does feel very appropriate right here.
yeah. I've attacked many a Jace with Bloodbraid Elf. Alright. 2 can play at the Cascade game.
And we get a... Wow, there was a lot
A
of cards.
him.
Oh, that's not what he wants to see.
And he cast the him. He casted it. He just fueled the Deathray Shaman. Man, that'll be it.
Yep. We got to almost scoop. He knows it's going to happen because Liliana gets the down tick. And Jund takes that one down. How about that?
Yeah.
I was a little surprised there because it looked like for a while there that the Shardless deck was way ahead.
Yeah, you know what? Jund has a lot of efficient removal, so the way that Shardless is going to get ahead is by drawing a lot of cards, and they did not do that.
Getting himmed early like that was effective.
Yeah.
It changed the numbers game, right? For sure.
Absolutely.
And then Rich hitting perfectly off of Bloodbrain Elf didn't hurt at all.
Oh.
So Rich is looking at Pithing Needle?
The only reason I would bring in Pithing Needle is for Jace.
Right. You think the Jace activation was wrong? What would you have done instead? If you bounce Bloodbrain, that does nothing.
Yeah, you don't want to bounce
It's just
Bloodbrain.
worse. If you Fate Seal, the only...
Yeah, you're right. The only thing you can keep it with the land, but I don't think... he could have Fate Sealed himself. Yeah. He could have Fate Sealed himself.
And then Jace lives one more turn.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see that, Elite. I think that if he does go up to 5, though, I think the Bloodbraid Elf goes to his face.
Yeah. Yep. And then you're
And then he's on a 1-turn clock after that.
I think the game ends the same way. You get a real brainstorm
Yes.
card you can cast, so that probably makes more sense.
Yeah,
You're
that
right.
is definitely a better line.
Well, I guess. It's better. I mean,
It's fine.
yeah. Suppose.
Chat can be right sometimes. You don't want to give him too much power, though.
No. We've seen what happens if you give chat a little bit of just
Right.
a taste of it, right? Things go sideways. Right.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, he did top deck the.
It makes
the
more
punishing fire.
sense, but I don't think it's gonna matter. No, not when you get the perfect. He's got a Liliana that's doing nothing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just ticking up, waiting for you to play a creature that's gonna die.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do. I mean, in a situation like that, it probably is more important to find the right line, see if you can get back into the game, but I don't think there was much hope there.
Logan is a little ways away, especially if afterwards, after the night's ended, and you got to drive all the way home. That's a good long drive.
Elite, I live in Farmington, and I know that is not Logan, but it's a drive. Like, coming from Logan that'd be really hard to do every week.
We're on to game 2.
How'd that first one go?
Somebody got punished.
Jund.
So Davis was not able to keep up with the...
You know, maybe if he had
The
more
Jund
shards in his
Bloodbraid
deck,
Elf.
the Sultai deck would have been better.
We're just seeing...
Awesome, Elite.
He's,
Yeah, I'm glad you made it out.
He doesn't have enough shards because it's shardless. Shard. Nope.
Yeah, this store has been a lot of fun ever since Brian told me that I had to come over here. I haven't been able to stay away because I used to play in Layton a lot. I used to play there a lot, and then and I love that store. But once Brian told me about this place, I just pretty much just play here now. It's really awesome.
Yeah, Rich's Mat is kind of like a cross between Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. I could see that.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure what it's from.
I'll have to ask him when we're done with the stream. Funny story, Kyra actually turned me on to this store
I did.
before he started coming here.
I hadn't even come to this store yet, and Patrick hit me up and he was like, "Hey, I'm in town. I've moved up here from St. George,
Yeah.
and I just want to let you know I'm up here and we can hang out." And I was like, "Sweet." And then he's like, "Yeah, so I'm looking for somewhere to play Magic." And I'm like, "Wait, you're in the Draper area? You should go play Magic at my friend's store because he's an owner." And he's like, "Oh, cool." So I talked to Brian a little bit, and next thing you know, Patrick's working here.
Yeah, right?
And I hadn't even come to the store yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So while we were talking there, it looks like Davis was able to get off a Hymn to Torak.
It's a good time.
Yeah. This
Get ready.
10-year-old is holding down Grid while you're gone. Thank you, Mason. You are so sweet to me. I appreciate it. I'll be at Grid every once in a while. Don't you worry.
It's not. Nope. Probably not. Probably not.
Poke in.
All right, we've got a game on our way.
Oh yeah, Deathrite Shaman.
Rich is doing this at Ensteth here. So what oh,
Double
we gotta see
fetch.
us. So we gotta see some Punishing Fire.
I think Punishing Fire is probably the best removal spell he can use to try to take this Deathrite Shaman out. Abrupt Decay would get it done for sure, but Punishing Fire would be the kind of spell that it would be like, do I want to counter this?
It's more fun.
Yeah.
You gotta punish people with fire.
2 mana, deal 2 damage.
Pretty.
Way
It's like
too
he's gonna go, yeah, Punishing Fire. He does have the Decay in hand. Is there any like specific sideboard cards or something that Rich would want to save the Decay for?
Not necessarily. Okay, so in a matchup like this, it plays very similarly to a mid-range mirror, and you just want more value per card. So that's how you're gonna board.
Sure.
Right.
Good
It's
old
a heavy
Bob.
burden, and you carry it well. Yes, you do. You do carry it well.
And there isn't a lot actually that Abrupt Decay's gonna do that Punishing Fire can't in this particular match.
They're very similar. And
Is this a Joss?
honestly, Shardless Sultai probably boards out their forces. Force of Will is not a great card against Jund.
Because you're going down on cards.
Yeah, you don't really want to go down on cards, especially when they're trying to make you discard multiple cards at a time. So most people board them out. I've seen people keep them in and be successful. It's definitely not a bad card. Just
So Davis here is thinking about. First, he was about to slam Jace, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he started thinking about, oh, what about this Wasteland here? And so he chooses to brainstorm instead. See some more options. I'm not sure what I would have done there, actually.
What's
I would have played
is-
Jace or not.
I'd be
Is
pretty
that
tempted
a wasteland
to play the
underneath the bayou?
Jace. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Wasteland, Bayou, Badlands. Yeah, I think I would have been tempted to slam Jace and bounce.
This is effective, though.
Yes.
Get rid of the
Brainstorm.
confidant that way.
Decay, hit your Grey Sword.
Yeah, this is hitting multiple resources.
Yep.
And now
That
we
looks
have...
like it was the correct line.
Yes,
Let's
it
go
definitely
ahead.
As
was.
opposed to Jace bounce.
Good.
We gotta go wave.
So we
And
know
Shaman.
Rich has an Abrupt Decay in hand. He also got a Liliana. He needs a land, though.
Yeah,
He needs a black land.
right now. Doing the Goyf
Black
count.
would be nice.
Yeah, another
That
Bayou.
Bayou.
Is Goyf 5/6? Ugh.
Alright, that's a Pyroblast. That's...
not.
It's going to counter Jace.
Yeah.
It is going to counter Jace. He can't do anything else.
Yep. Well, he could Wasteland the land.
I don't think that's what he wants to be doing right now.
Yeah.
I mean, just saying. He could.
Yeah, he could.
He's
He
just going to
absolutely.
look at some lines here. So yeah, he's going to exile a land. Doesn't really matter which one. Rich is going to put it into play.
Try it,
Oh, no.
Jace.
Yeah, we'll Pyroblast that. Fair enough, he says. Alright.
Planeswalker 6.
Where are our dice?
Bash.
Yeah, where are our Planeswalker? Or
You know
our
what?
Tarmogoyf
When
dice?
when I walked in, I asked what was going on with the Tarmogoyf dice, and I had one of the store workers walk up and hand me a prototype.
Ooh.
Yes, we have a
So
prototype. They are being
we have a
forged.
prototype, and we'll probably have them soon.
Mhm.
It looks sweet. I really
Yeah.
like it.
There's another Abrupt Decay. Davis is officially playing with 45 Abrupt Decays in his deck.
What, he had 3 the first game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
like, alright, I'll
this
spend
is
visions.
desperation mode. He needs a fetch off the top desperately.
Well, desperately.
That-
Wasteland works?
Wasteland.
No, it doesn't.
No,
It doesn't.
and that'll be game.
But he has cards that he can't play. Yeah.
Yep.
He has cards he can pick
We
up.
got a game 3.
Strange. The player who went first won.
Funny how that works. Turn 1, Deathrite Shaman. Go.
Go.
Is there a reason we're not using the prototype to show them off?
find us the
It
prototype.
is colorless right now. It is.
It
It
is.
is white.
Yeah, there's no color on it.
So
It
you
is.
can't really see it.
Yeah, it's hard. You cannot. Yeah.
There's
Exactly.
a reason. We need some spray paint is what we need. And
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Or,
plain white.
or a talented artist.
It's gonna be
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't.
Paragon colors. I believe like a silver, like not silver. How would I call that? Like just a gray with our Paragon blue
Cool.
as the
Very cool.
numbers. It doesn't have the O. That was one thing that we looked at. We might change with it. I don't know. I'm not sure.
The O,
I mean,
like the.
like when Tarmogoyf is an 01.
Oh. But that never happens.
Yeah.
I think I played a Tarmogoyf as an
Occasionally-
01 once.
Occasionally, yeah.
It didn't stay
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah, it doesn't stay that way for long, so I don't think we'll. I don't know. We'll see.
Do we have a miniatures crowd at our shop? We do. There are some miniatures for sale here.
We have Warhammer products. We've today, in fact, more than ever, we actually had like 3 or 4 people coming in looking for D&D miniatures. Because I think a shop down the street is actually ended up closing down.
But not much of a crowd.
Yeah, and they were more miniature centric. So with that happening, we might be branching a little more into.
And there's been
Our
some D&D
miniature
players
wargaming.
here that use a table and play some D&D and
Every now and again, yeah,
do
we
their thing.
we had Pathfinder Society for a bit, and
yeah, they
Oh.
just love painting small
Oh,
things.
that's where Jorgensen was getting at. Okay. What store closed?
it's Fungo.
Fongo? Fongo Bongo.
Which was just miniatures, right? That's all they were.
That's all they really did
Yeah.
was a bunch of miniatures, D&D stuff like that. I'd only been to the store once, but all right. Looks like we got some opening hands here.
Patrick wants us to move on.
Seriously.
Cool segue.
He's gonna take over.
Yeah.
Segway City.
The off-screen man
See, do we both get to keep
walking
seven?
us play by play.
I kind of exist.
Nope. Just this disembodied voice. It's great. In fact, I think sometimes it looks like I'm the one having a conversation with you, even though I'm sitting here quietly.
Oh man. And then when you left, I sat down and my name was up on the.
oh,
or your name was up on
nah,
the.
it
Yeah.
just made things.
He was
weird.
Bryce
Yeah,
for
that's
at
weird
least a
time.
minute. Oh look! Hey look!
Deathrise Shaman.
That's right, shown on turn 1. Who would have
no
thunk?
way. Does Davis play Fatal Pushes?
We haven't seen one.
I have not seen a fatal push from either
This
player.
looks like an older Shardless build.
Yeah. It's a sweet shirtless build. I love shirtless Sultai.
Yeah.
All right, we're
fetch.
gonna get a land, a basic.
Yeah.
Take
Playing around
that.
Wasteland.
We are not.
Wasteland.
We are not.
That's
getting
actually. I
Wasteland.
think that actually might be wrong, but you're so reliant
Ooh.
on
Davis
getting,
has a library in hand. It's like.
Yeah, library is a card that comes in this matchup.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That card seems
we are
really
thought
good.
seizing. It's Shaman or Thought Seize.
Yeah.
He knows that Rich probably can kill the Shaman if he goes Shaman.
Yeah.
I think it's correct to Thought Seize.
Let's take some of your resources here. So punching fire. Is that a tireless tree?
Yeah, so we have a Grove, a Punishing Fire, a Deathrite Shaman, an Abrupt Decay, and a Dark Confidant.
Yeah, which one do you take here? This is
What
not
would
easy.
what would I
You can't take Punishing Fire.
Yeah.
So do you take Abrupt Decay?
Yes. He probably... Okay, you...
Abrupt
you
Decay or Bob, right?
Yeah, you need to take the Dark Confidant or the Abrupt Decay. So if you have a way to deal with the Dark Confidant, you're not taking it. And the reason to take Abrupt Decay here is so that next turn he can slam Library and not worry about it leaving.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
Library is probably going to crack this matchup wide open.
I actually don't mind this take either. Bob could win the game next turn, right?
Yeah, and
not
if
next
he,
turn.
like
but-
I said, if he didn't have something to kill Bob, then you probably take that.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed. Yeah, the hand's really good.
The hand's, it's also Jund, right?
Yes,
like,
it's fantastic.
That's what a Jund hand looks like most of the time.
Yeah, I'd say so. Especially a two-lander like this one. Yeah.
Yeah, and having Grove and Punishing Fire, that happens.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
what you want to have happen.
It really does. I mean,
Ooh,
typically these
Pyroblast.
decks are running 4 Grove and 2 or 3 Punishing Fire. Mine runs 3, and I think that Rich's runs 3. They've been really, really impressive.
So, we haven't seen all of Davis's hand, or at least I haven't been able
No.
to see it all. I'm really curious to see if this fetching a basic swamp comes back to bite him or not, though.
That's a Surgical Extraction.
That's effective against Punishing Fire.
It is.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
That's
I think
gonna get
that
punished.
Death Rat Shaman's gonna die.
Ooh.
And I think the Punishing Fire is also going to die.
Yep.
So that's not bad. Bait out
Yes.
the Punishing Fire.
Mhm.
Okay. But if Davis doesn't have another land, ouch.
You know, I've had a lot of people board in Surgical against Punishing Fire, and I do think it's correct. However, it was a 2-mana removal spell, and you killed something with it, and now they're using something to get them out of your deck. I haven't had being knocked off of Punishing Fire ever really kill me,
Right.
but it certainly makes Davis feel better about the game going forward.
And so his Death Rat was gonna die anyway, right?
He's got
And it
4.
was totally
He's got
ineffective.
4 Punishing Fire.
Because Rich had 2 Death Rats of his own. There was no way Davis was ever gonna get a mana out of his Death Rat or anything else for that matter.
Yeah.
But he's in trouble here. He needs another land.
Yeah, he needs another land. I think that maybe that's why he fetched a basic, is so that he wouldn't get Wasteland and have just no lands.
That is absolutely why he fetched the basic.
So,
That, and he knew he could play it.
It just hurts if you draw the wrong one here, right?
Yeah.
Like if he gets an Underground Sea, he can't play his library.
So we're going to remove the Verdant Catacombs. And what
1,
are
2,
we
3?
casting?
Might as well just play a Lily, I guess, right?
Yeah, I think so. He gets to hold up Pyroblast, which I really like. Where he is mana screwed, whatever spell he's going to play, once he finds the land, it's probably going to be a blue.
He actually,
Crystal.
he actually discards the Pyroblast instead.
I play 3 Punishing Fire in the main and 0 in the side, so I have 3 in the 75.
That was some quick math there. that you just did.
Thank you. I'm glad you noticed.
and this Lily is certainly going to take over the game here.
Well, he's got 95 cards in hand, so it's going to take a while for him to discard them all.
Yeah.
but-
Ooh, a Tropical Island. That is what the doctor ordered.
Yep, and he is going to cast a blue card, and I would assume that it is... Oh no, he's going to cast the library.
Yeah.
Silly me, I forgot. That is definitely the thing that he should play first.
Yeah. I mean, granted, it is going to get
Absolutely.
Abrupt Decayed,
Yes.
but,
We don't need to focus on that.
yeah.
It was a nice try. I think Jen is kind of ahead here.
Yeah.
We get to see a Baleful Strix come in next turn. Or
However-
maybe a Shardless Agent.
However, something to mention, if he doesn't find a threat relatively soon, I mean, Shardless Agent's going to get some work done, obviously. Okay, there is your threat.
There's a threat. There's one.
Yeah.
How did he cast a K? He's got green and black. Grove of the Burn Wheels.
Yeah,
gives him
Grove of the
green.
Burn Willows taps for green.
Yeah. Bayou gets
Sorry.
you black.
Hey, land for...
So what he did, Jorgensen, he tapped a land. Was he tapped out from Lily?
He used Deathrite Shaman. And Grove. 2 casts.
Lily came down the turn before.
Yeah.
It did come down the turn before because
Yeah.
it's at 5 now.
Yep.
Yeah, it was the next turn that he decayed. So this game is now getting way out of hand because the Dark Confidant is going to be able to catch Rich up in cards in hand to Davis, and given the board state the way it is,
And Lily's at 6 here, right?
It can
so
ult,
Lily
yes.
could choose to ult, or could just keep killing whatever creature Davis puts out. Yeah, and I wonder
what he's
here,
going to choose.
Shardless Agent makes sense here, and hope. Oh, so he drew the decay. He didn't mean to draw the decay. he meant to put it up for Shardless Agent, I believe. That's what that looks like.
Yeah, a
I
little
think
mistake there.
Maybe he stacked that brainstorm wrong. When you draw the card and go, oh, wait a minute, darn it!
At least he has the decay, though, right? Like, at least he can decay the Liliana.
Uh-oh, MTG bot coming in on us.
Noob.
We've had a couple punts not this round, but this today.
Yeah.
We've had the
Yeah, a couple mistakes for
trying
sure.
to Dark Depths into a wasteland, trying to copy a Dark Depths with an open wasteland.
I don't know if I call that a punt. Definitely a mistake, but I don't think it's costing him the game.
No, and that one was just a mistake. Like, he obviously meant to stack them differently.
Yes.
And then when he drew, he went, wait, no, that's not what I meant to do. So, and this becomes just kind of going through the motions, I think, right? Like, there's not much Davis can do.
No, Davis having the Death Toucher really does keep his life total higher than Rich would like it. I mean, that Tarmogoyf creates a turn 2 clock, maybe even a 1.
Okay, so Captain QC, I think there actually is a difference between a punt and a mistake.
Yes.
You can make mistakes where, well, that was a little different.
To clarify,
Yes.
a punt is a mistake that you make that takes you from having the game to actually losing.
Right.
So you had to have had the game in your hands and lost it. That is a punt.
Yes. It's more extreme than a mistake.
Yes.
And I think in chats in streaming, people like to say punt whenever you make any mistake whatsoever.
Yeah,
right?
a punt is not
Oh,
simply a
you
mistake.
did something wrong, punt. And we see that all the time. Whereas it's more of a I just lost the game because I made that mistake.
Yes.
I don't think Davis I think he had already lost the game a little while ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that stacking that wrong made any difference with who the winner
Having
was.
a 2/2 to block there saves you a turn, but that's about it.
I doubt that there is that distinction. You
Alright.
think there is one? I'm only repeating the way that it was taught to me, and I've been playing this game for over a decade.
Well, no, I think that's changed because online streaming. People,
Oh, yeah.
people like to. Oh, you made a mistake. Punt. Ah, great, good job.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, if it's changed, fine. I don't really care. I don't really care how you define it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me.
So Punishing John just went undefeated
Yeah, weird.
against a couple depths decks, a turbo depths, and a red-green lands deck. Not
Yeah.
lands. It was it lands? Did he have?
Yeah, it was.
It
He
was
played.
just-
He beat Lance, and he
Yeah.
also beat Turbo Depths
And then
and Shardless.
Shardless, and I'm not sure what he played against. Oh, he told me.
Are we cheaters? No.
I don't think so.
Last time I checked, no.
I don't think we definitely. In fact, it's actually pretty great. We have a really decent number of really solid players here. I think we're gonna have a very minimal amount of people cheating at this location.
All right, Jorgensen. I'll see what I can do on Friday. I think Friday there's only 3 rounds. I can see if I can 3-0 it. Well, we're gonna try.
Sometimes we end up doing 4 rounds of Legacy just
You know
because
what?
people want to play more.
I even got something cool.
Uh oh, we gotta show off cool things now.
Yeah, I am.
We'll go a little bit bigger here just for you to show off cool things.
I like showing off cool things. Now this isn't actually mine, but
He's showing off cool things that are
I
yours.
gained access
Wait a minute.
to a cool card, and I have placed it in my sideboard where it is safe.
I gained access. Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually.
All right. Yes.
It's even English. Look at that. It's in really good shape, too.
So I got one of these suckers. Hopefully, it can help my Jund game on Friday,
Yeah.
and maybe, hopefully, in Vegas.
Did you steal a chains? It did sound, I gained access. Sounds a little like
I borrowed it. I borrowed it from a friend.
He doesn't know it's
It is not the store's. No. This card is bad. Oh, I don't know about it being bad.
It's bad in that it takes you a half hour to figure out what it does,
Yes, that is bad.
and the Oracle text is even worse.
I have to admit, I have spent in my lifetime probably at least an hour scouring the internet for examples of interactions with chains so that I can actually know how it works in different interactions. It is not simple.
Well, thank you guys for joining us for some Tuesday Legacy, guys. That was a good time.
Yeah, that was a great tournament. We didn't have a million rounds that ended super fast.
Right? Yeah.
We had some grinded out matchups that
Didn't
were
have a whole bunch of
close.
down. We didn't have to entertain you with our bad puns for too much of today.
Yeah, you guys should consider yourselves lucky.
and we had some interesting people in chat.
Yeah.
So, join us next Friday. We'll probably be streaming some Legacy on Friday, this Friday.
Yeah.
And then next Tuesday as well, I believe. I'm not 100% sure if we're actually going to be streaming.
Ooh, and next Tuesday, I'm running a cube after I commentate. I'm excited.
Are we doing that before we go to Vegas? We're going to do some
on
cube?
Tuesday night. Yeah.
Ah.
After the tournament.
We may even figure out a way to stream some of this cube. That could be cool.
You know what? If
You guys
there were
wanna stay late?
if there were people that are willing to commentate while we draft from my cube,
Yeah, that might
I would
Hey, well
definitely
done
be up
on
for that.
going some undefeated.
Yes.
Rich joining us to show off. So I believe the cube. If we do a cube, if we get enough people, I'd be down to stay around for cube. But I'm not sure.
I've been bragging about my cube for all this time, and finally Brian was like, well, let's get some people together.
Yeah.
And so Tuesday
it would happen after Tuesday
happen-
Legacy.
yes.
So it would be starting at the around now.
Yeah, I'd
next
probably
week.
go pretty late.
Yep. Why do you say that off?
Offline.
Okay, so join us here Friday and next Tuesday, guys.
Yeah.
We'll, thanks for watching some Legacy.
Check us
with
out on
us.
Friday.
Yeah, Rich, who just went undefeated, will be probably streaming, casting, not streaming, casting.
Then you
Being
can
streaming.
see me go 3-0,
We-
and you can commentate on me playing Punishing John.
Yeah. Inception. Jundception.
There you go, Jorgensen.
All
I'm
right.
gonna go 3-0, and we're gonna have our Jund Master host that. So you have
Right
a good
on.
night as well.
Have a good night, guys.